A hand covered in dirt and blood hit the rising mound, as if the owner of that hand had just gone through an extremely intense battle. Right before my eyes, a giant with long hair, horns and huge wings stood there, in his hand holding a long, cold sword like a devil coming out of hell. The young man who owned the bloody hand seemed to be having a hard time as he had just gone through a decisive battle with the giant. His body was covered in wounds. He thought to himself, God is dead, humanity only worships gold and revered mysterious techniques. He thought to himself, in the end, they turned themselves into slaves, with thoughts echoing in their heads of images of poor humans running away in panic from the claws of the devil. Is this fair? The young man raised his sword and shouted at the long-haired man with horns. His body trembled, not knowing whether from fear or anger. The long-haired man coldly raised his sword, his whole body emitting murderous aura. What does it mean? The young man shouted indignantly and rushed to fight with the long-haired guy. He coldly swung his sword to block the attack. Even though the young man had put all his strength into it, his face was distorted from the exertion. A huge explosion occurred. The young man was thrown out. Turns out this is just the best modern fantasy game about the end of the world called Arcane Soul. In real life, the player who just logged out of the game is angry and shouting, "This pay-to-win trash game." His name is Kim Jo-an-soo, a 22-year-old college student. Is it okay like this? He shouted, still very bitter after the recent death. The gray phone screen showed that the character he controlled was logged out. It seemed like the more he loaded, the easier it was to win, so this guy couldn't hold back from expressing his feelings. How could a poor vegetarian like me play this game? Back in the game world, it turned out that the young man had not yet woken up. Lying on the ground with him were several other young men who had fainted. He gritted his teeth and looked at his opponent, who was leisurely saying, "It's great for a player like you to grind, but you're also terrible." He laughed. "I was actually using automatic mode the whole time." This made the young man very angry. He shouted at his opponent, "You bastard." Suddenly he turned on cruel mode, swung his wings to knock down two other players and praised the young man. "But it was fun. I've never seen a vegetarian player play as well as him." Back to reality, Jo-an-soo is very angry. His body trembles with anger. His mouth mumbles curses at the bastard. Suddenly he raised his face to the sky and shouted loudly, startling many people. He lost to a whale after spending 10k hours playing the game. But it's fair, the game is like that, a betting game with an op character. Screaming in boredom, the young man turned around and mumbled, "What a fool to waste time on this damn game." After criticizing the game for a while, he still didn't quit the game and went to do daily missions so he could do his homework. So this is someone who has no friends to do daily missions no matter what a pity. Jo-an-soo's phone screen shows a button, although the free pass will probably give me another golden soldier. He thought to himself, after clicking that button, it seemed like something different from usual appeared. A silver treasure chest that shines with rainbow light. What is that? A platinum chest. Looks like you've never received this item before. This seems very special. He opened the long-haired, horned guy just now, and it turned out to be a celestial demon. What the heck, did I really unlock a celestial demon? He was secretly shocked. Damn, it's really a celestial demon, the strongest character in this game, he exclaimed. I heard that the chance of unlocking him in a free turn is only 0,00006%. This made the young man extremely happy, so much so that he jumped up and down in the middle of the street. He happily said, "Go ahead, I really have the heavenly devil." Immediately he had a plan with this demon character. "Now, let's go upgrade the demon character. I can upgrade by fighting monsters." The fastest way to upgrade a character in Arcane Soul is use other characters to gain experience. Your face when you say this looks so evil and dark. I'm not jealous of those people who spend money to level up anymore. I will use the golden soldiers to upgrade my heavenly devil. In the game, a series of weak metal soldiers are used to upgrade Jo-an-soo's new demon. The experience bar increases rapidly. And he did not hesitate to say goodbye to his soldiers. "Goodbye, golden soldiers, now I am the master of the devil." So excited, Jo-an-soo looked at his phone and crossed the street without realizing a car was coming. The driver in the car fell asleep. He was so shocked that he froze. "Why does this look familiar to me? It seems like you've seen this scene somewhere." Jo-an-soo opened his eyes and woke up. He found himself lying in the hospital, his head wrapped in gauze and his leg in a cast. He sat up and looked around wondering, what's going on? Why am I in the hospital? A pain ran through his head, making Jo-an-soo uncomfortable. He remembered the scene just now. He panicked as he looked at the car rushing towards him. It seemed like the truck had hit him. "That's right, I was hit by a truck," he thought to himself. Suddenly a nurse opened the door. interrupting his thoughts and asking, "Soldier Kim, are you awake?" "What, Soldier Kim?" he stammered. "Wait a minute, I'll call the doctor," the nurse told him. Right now Jo-An-Su's mind was full of hundreds of threads. What's going on? Why does she call herself Soldier Kim? He discovered a card with his information: Soldier Kim's name, male gender, age 22, cause of dislocation and concussion due to accident. After reading it, Jo-An-Su was speechless. He actually wrote Soldier Kim. What kind of error is this? He got off the bed and exclaimed, "I feel guilty for turning the golden soldiers into experience points for the devil, but turning into golden soldiers, how is that possible?" Step the casted leg onto the ground. Immediately the pain came and he sprayed glue. He shouted loudly. Immediately the nurse ran in to take a look. Soldier Kim Cow couldn't move yet, and Jo-An-Su was crying and complaining like a pissed off pig. "Oh shit, it hurts so much, I'm going to die." The doctor came in with a kind face and explained to him, he was hit by a truck. Luckily he only had minor injuries. "What?" Jo-An-Su shouted, but he still needed to be checked. The doctor slowly continued, he needed an MRI and a magic vision test. What magic? Jo-An-Su wondered deeply. In his mind now there were 10,000 questions about why, metal soldiers, magic, what did they say? At the reception desk. All hospital costs begin to be calculated, room and facility fees, CT scans, X-rays and other costs add up. A total of more than 22 million won, a huge number that made student Jo-An-Su freeze. "What?" you asked with difficulty. "I was only here for 4 days and spent 22 million. The accountant still happily answered, he didn't have insurance, so he had to pay all the expenses himself. What was the problem? Jo-An-Su wondered. Why didn't he have insurance? All Korean citizens have health insurance. What is health insurance? The accountant scratched her head and wondered. You don't have Legion insurance or Magic Tower insurance, right? Legion or Magic Tower. These words stunned Jo-An-Su. She was talking. Suddenly he realized, I remember hearing these terms before. Where did I hear it from? Legions, Parliament, Magic Tower, Holy Guild. This is the setting of Arcane Soul. He was shocked to realize the truth. In a world where gods have left humanity, mystical science has developed rapidly. The polluted earth is full of monsters, people have to change their bodies to survive. Damn, Jo-An-Su has lost his color now. In short, it's a very difficult world to survive in. He finished that sentence while standing on the street of a small street. Jo-An-Su is still trying to accept the truth, but here I am. I went to sleep with the happiness of having a heavenly demon, but I became a trial character. Perhaps this is a punishment from the gods for reincarnating these golden soldiers. Jo-An-Su opened the door to a room and started to criticize. This room is even older than my old apartment. Why are Kim soldiers so poor? Damn, my body isn't healthy, I don't have any money, what should I do? He sat down and started thinking, and if this really was Arcane Soul, then soon, events like nuclear war, rifts, or the resurrection of the old gods will happen soon. Turning this place into hell, he lay down on the bed, not knowing why he came here. But if I just stay in one place, I will 100% die. Wait a minute. Looks like you discovered something. I have to check before it's too late. He grabbed the pen. Stab hard on the back of your hand. Blood immediately poured out, he screamed in pain. Suddenly the wound slowly closed. And the hand returns to its original state. I immediately knew it was effective. A blue board appears, status obtained, you have obtained the wound healing trait 1. The reason I have raised countless gold soldiers. Actually, the golden soldier is a trial character, the only character without basic traits. However, I can unlock traits and change them, so I can freely raise metal soldiers more than other characters. Players rely on tactics like me, metal soldiers are easier to use than other characters. It's true that in poverty comes wisdom, which means I'm now a soldier. I can take any trait as long as I earn it. Heal the activated wound, heal the wounds you have suffered so far. Immediately Jo-An-Su's body is healed without a single wound left. Arcane Soul, in this world, poverty and powerlessness are synonymous with death. Or if you're unlucky. But I won't let that happen. I will survive. I have knowledge from wasting 10k hours on the game Arcane Soul when I was a vegetarian. He stood on the corpses of monsters, his rank level 9 was displayed on his head. At a small shop on the side of the road. Jo-An-Su walked out the door. The cut on his face made him even more handsome, giving him a confident smile. In the recruitment office. The bearded man was thoughtfully reading Jo-An-Su's CV. Kim Warrior, you mean this is your first time coming to our player recruitment room? Jo An-soo replied, yes, I plan to participate in the mana purification project. Right now in his head he was complaining, in bad games like this, I have to earn money first, because I only have this damn body, so the only thing I can do is earn a large amount of money. The broker put his feet on the table and explained to him, it could be called mana purification. But do you understand what conquering a dungeon actually entails? This guy turns out to be the SEO director of the player recruitment room. Jo An-soo scratched his head and replied, oh yes, I know, but you look a bit stupid, so the director doesn't seem to believe it, you know, but there's nothing in your CV. Jo An-soo stood still for a few seconds. Of course I know, how terrible this job is, he thought. In the dungeon, streams of dark and toxic gas flowed out from the hole. Unclean mana is the reason why monsters can invade Arcana Soul. Conquering a dungeon, the act of cleaning up trash releases a large amount of unclean mana. Long-term exposure to mana can cause death. Help me, that was the weak cry for help of a worker after long days of exposure to toxic mana. He held his head in pain, his forehead and arms showing fierce veins. Mutagenic mana makes this job extremely dangerous. Jo An-soo also seems a bit hesitant. Finally, the director closed Jo An-soo's application. He told him, okay, now when there are enough people, I will assign you to a group, thank you. Jo An-soo agreed immediately, but are you sure? The director asked one last time. I've seen countless people like you enter this place for money and then end up completely empty. This didn't seem to scare Jo An-soo. He turned back to the director, gave a handsome smile and said, don't worry. Maybe I'm even better than you. What? The answer surprised the director. Jo An-soo's face is now distorted with a smile. Playing blood in 4 ways as a free player is my forte, he thought to himself. In front of Jo An-soo is now the dear worker commander. He seems to doubt his ability. He asks, what, are you a new recruit to our team? Young Jo An-soo didn't seem to notice the disdain in the commander's voice. Oh yes, that's probably it, he replied. I only came here because I was assigned to this team. Hey, that guy threatened. This is your place to play. Where is the determination behind your eyes? It's best not to ask me to save you after your mutation. If I detect any signs of mutation, I will kill you. Okay, I'll remember that. His mouth replied like that, but in Jo An-soo's mind was another thought, scaring newbies. In games or in real life it's all the same, right? But why is the R-level deer character, the deer, here? He thought suspiciously. So he looked like this before awakening. His legs are also normal. At this moment, a big blonde guy ran to stop. Oh my god, there's no need to do that to new people. We're already short on manpower, so we have to take advantage of all the support we can. This guy has 5 years of experience clearing dungeons. The deer called this guy a hedgehog. He said, that is if he can help us. Look at him, I'm glad he's not causing us any trouble. Okay, we have exactly 4 days to clean up the 5 unclean places. Hurry up, I urge everyone. This commander made Jo An-soo angry. He cursed, that bastard, he is even more difficult than in the game. At this moment, the hedgehog patted his shoulder to comfort him. Don't pay attention to what he does, he looks stiff on the outside but he's very nice. Ah yes, Jo An-soo replied. In front of the tall gate filled with hideous green mucus. Looks like something is rotten. I can't get used to this smell. One of them groaned. The deer said loudly to everyone, I will open the door, everyone get ready. He held a blue card and swiped it through the lock. Immediately the gate opened. Everyone get into position, the commander gives orders. Everyone entered the dungeon with a tense mind. Inside is a mess of strange green monsters. Those are low-level unclean slime monsters. It seems like Jo An-soo has a way to deal with it, the basics when cleaning up unclean mana or unclean monsters, unclean slimes. Even though they are weak, the reason why they are so difficult. Because they don't die until they find the mana core inside them. A worker swung a shovel and split the slime monster in half, but they did not die but split into 2 new ones. Someone shouted, find their mana core, damn it, how to find it now? The workers seem to be having a hard time with these monsters, they are constantly attacked by them. If this continues we will be infected with impure mana. At this moment, Jo An-soo rushed towards the monsters. He shouted loudly, stepping back. Then took the shovel and stabbed it straight towards the monster. The tip of the shovel flashed a cold light, causing the worker below to panic. I'm not responsible. Jo An-soo said coldly, and as he finished speaking, the tip of the shovel stabbed straight into the monster's body. Crashed into something that emitted golden light. Immediately, the monster's body that had clung to the worker disappeared, and the ground was shattered. Jo An-soo smiled happily, perfect. Let's warm up a bit, your scary appearance makes the guy just tremble in fear. After finishing speaking, Jo Ansu rushed straight towards the monsters. Each one was slashed by him with a shovel. Swing the shovel decisively and accurately to smash their mana cores. Destroyed in the blink of an eye. You look so cool right now. This made his teammates very surprised. What the hell, in just one hit he killed all the slimes. How can that be? Jo Ansu is currently killing monsters. And happily thought, of course it's possible. Back in time 2 days ago, Jo Ansu was crawling on the ground looking for something. Somewhere, it must be around here. Behind him there was a mother and child pair. The boy pointed, "Mom, that guy is so strange, don't look at him." The boy's mother stopped him. After a while of searching, he found what he was looking for. "That's a 500 coin, found it." Jo Ansu happily shouted. He immediately obtained a new attribute. You have obtained a treasure hunting attribute. That's it, found it, the most important attribute for a metal warrior, treasure hunter. Jo Ansu happily jumped and said, 501, 501 finally found. On the other side, the mother was covering her son's eyes from Jo Ansu's crazy actions. Oh my god, close your eyes quickly before something else happens. In Jo Ansu's head, he was recalling the knowledge he had accumulated since playing the game. Before going to kill monsters, he learned a few important principles while gathering a few necessary attributes. Jo Ansu seemed to be about to collect a new attribute. He put his face in the trash can and covered his mouth as if he was about to vomit. Along with the sounds of vomiting, he has acquired additional antitoxin properties. It also makes him tired to death. This is the hardest to get, Jo Ansu laments. First, the job of collecting attributes is like in the game as long as certain conditions are fulfilled. Jo Ansu happily checks the attributes while exhaling. The attributes I exchange blood and tears to get. Secondly, I can get a total of 6 attributes. Jo Ansu's attribute equipment table also has quite a few useful skills. I can switch back and forth between attributes whenever I want. He thought as he activated the treasure hunting attribute, that is, you can find your opponent's weakness. So thanks to this attribute I can see the mana core. While thinking, Jo Ansu went crazy killing monsters. He swung his hammer down on the largest monster, its toxins splashing around. The deer commander loudly warned everyone be careful not to get hurt. Jo Ansu put the shovel on his shoulder. Walked up and said, it seems like my efforts have paid off. The metal warrior's working ability is so outstanding. His body is covered in unclean mucus but he seems to be unaffected at all. He activated the antitoxin attribute to resist impure mana. The city at night, the moon is high. Jo Ansu sat exhausted on the bus. In his head he was complaining, even with support attributes, but working all day is really tiring. At this moment, the hedgehog stood behind him and patted his shoulder to thank him. We were able to leave early today, thanks to you. Jo Ansu also said hello back, hedgehog. The hedgehog now sat down on the chair next to him and continued, just looking at you I can see that you are really good. You are waiting to awaken like a deer. Jo Ansu replied with a faint smile, haha, that's not like that. I know how to do it, thanks to my experience in the military. The hedgehog continued to praise, wow, if that's the case then you're really good. Jo Ansu looked at the hedgehog. He also had his own thoughts in his mind. This person, the signs of mutation around him are getting worse. It seems he has been exposed to too much impure mana. He asked the hedgehog, hey, you don't look very well, why don't you rest soon? But the hedgehog didn't seem to notice. He replied, no, I'd rather face my mutation than face debt collectors. This surprised Jo Ansu. He thought, it sounds reasonable. There aren't many reasons for people to do this. 4 days later, it seems like the defilement has been cleaned up. Jo Ansu let out a breath and said, it's over. Everyone looked tired after a whole day of cleaning. The sky and ground were brighter. Suddenly someone vomited. That's a hedgehog. He seems to be about to mutate. His head is kneeling on the ground. His hair is straight and his eyes are red. Jo Ansu also noticed something unusual. He thought to himself, I told him not to try too hard. At this moment, the deer commander walked over to talk to you. You looked enthusiastic because you were still young. I never thought you would be able to do your job. Good job, he praised Jo Ansu. He also happily accepted, don't worry, it's all thanks to everyone, but in his head he was talking to himself. Thanks to the new attributes he got after cleaning up the monsters, the job is easier now. He looked tired. Was it because he was our level? He wondered and looked at the deer sitting on the ground, so tired. Suddenly there was a scream of pain. The hedgehog's entire body is emitting unclean energy. He seemed to have mutated. Everyone around him asked, hey hedgehog, your spine, are you okay? Immediately the deer jumped up and asked what was going on. Don't say. The deer rushed to the hedgehog's side and shook him. The hedgehog calmed down and let's get out of here. But it seems it's too late, the hedgehog has mutated, his eyes are as red as blood. Along with the roar was a huge explosion. Damn it, Jo-An-Soo thought. A giant foot stomped on the ground. The hedgehog had mutated into a terrifying monster, he screamed, he's mutated, Jo-An-Soo confirmed. Mutant hedgehog. It seems like he's lost all reason, if he doesn't defeat him, he won't be able to get out of here. Jo-An-Soo checked the properties again. Because all the new attributes I have are used to clear away monsters, none of them help in combat. This, no matter how you think about it. I'm sure it's over. He stood under the hedgehog's roar without moving anything. The hedgehog had lost all reason, he growled and wanted to attack Jo-An-Soo. He was also in a tense state, no matter what he thought. Without finishing his thoughts, the hedgehog swung his claws and slashed at Jo-An-Soo. He took a bloody blow and fell to the ground. I thought to myself, the difference in strength is too great, at this speed I will die. But in the misfortune there is luck, he has acquired a new trait, endurance. Now you have regained your composure, your temperament is correct, you have the temperament, it's still too early to give up. In order to survive, I had to brainstorm, how to defeat that thing, I thought as I scrolled through the attribute table and decided, first, to delete some traits. He began to consider, strength would come in handy right now. Mana hearts will help control mana. Endurance will reduce damage received. Mana absorption allows you to absorb mana and deep breathing helps restore more mana. Finally the last missing piece, impurity resistance. Okay, basically it's ready. Come here you bastard. Jo-An-Soo is ready for battle. Without letting him wait too long, the hedgehog started to attack. Jo-An-Soo activates the strength trait, amplifying his strength tenfold. He put all his strength into swinging the shovel. Slammed straight towards the hedgehog, causing him to be thrown away. This gives Jo-An-Soo more confidence. Good, it worked, I can do it, he thought. But not yet happy, before landing. The hedgehog turned his body around in a thorny circle and rolled straight towards Jo-An-Soo. This step caught him off guard. What the hell? Oh shit, curse words kept coming out of his mouth. Jo-An-Soo's face turned pale when the hedgehog was about to attack him. He appeared as he was, swinging his hand down to where Jo-An-Soo was standing. But surprisingly, he jumped up and could not avoid the dangerous attack. Activate the endurance trait, amplifying strength 10 times. Even though I have endurance, it still hurts like I want to die. Jo-An-Soo said, but, he realized, if I stop now, I will die. He swung his fist repeatedly at the hedgehog, there was no other choice but to continue attacking. Suddenly the hedgehog activated a hidden skill. A sharp thorn shot straight at Jo-An-Soo, but luckily he dodged it. But right after that a dozen spikes shot towards Jo-An-Soo. He fell to the ground in pain, his body covered in spikes. But still tried, couldn't, a little more. Just a little more, Jo-An-Soo stood up. Swung his fist towards the giant monster. However, before he could touch the monster's body, the porcupine spikes embedded in his body pierced his flesh, causing his body to burst. Jo-An-Soo was in pain and couldn't move, it seemed like he had failed. In your head are negative thoughts. Can't win with a metal soldier, Jo-An-Soo lies curled up on the ground holding his torn arm, the monster swings his fist wanting to finish him off. He fell straight to the ground. Jo-An-Soo is now reminiscing about the days in the real world, when he was leisurely lying on the bed playing games. Come here, I will defeat everyone with just metal soldiers. Those were his words when he was in the real world, but now, Jo-An-Soo is reminiscing, back when I was playing games, everything was so easy, just one touch was enough to defeat the monsters, I never thought about the character's feelings. Which simply pushes the character to extremes under the pretext of effective training. But now I understand, every drop of Jo-An-Soo's hot blood fell on the ground. The monster held him in the palm of his hand like a rag, he squeezed hard, causing the thorns to penetrate deeply into Jo-An-Soo's body, he understood that he had to go through pain to have an average trait. Winning but not paying the price, Jo-An-Soo jumped up, he grabbed the monster's hand and threw him far away. It turns out he has collected a new trait called mutant muscle. Jo-An-Soo's skinny arms have now become muscular. The monster received a painful blow. The reason I attacked recklessly is because the trait can be obtained by exceeding the limit by activating the mana and strength heart trait, to obtain mutant muscle. Immediately the hedgehog monster jumped up and continued to attack Jo-An-Soo. he shouted at him, all in preparation for this moment. Easily block a hedgehog's attack. Jo An-soo smiled confidently and said, "It's no longer effective. You throw a series of punches, forcing the opponent into a defensive position. Punch again, dare you." Jo An-soo proudly provoked. The monster refused to be weak, his fist grew countless sharp spikes. Hit Jo An-soo straight in the chest. His body was full of holes and his mouth was bleeding. He was shocked to realize that he hadn't used all his strength yet. But, thanks to the punch just now, Jo An-soo also gained a mutant body, a new trait. He stood up and did not forget to thank his opponent. "Thank you. Thanks to you I have become stronger." The two of them got into a fight. "Now we're evenly matched," Jo An-soo said. At this time, the deer commander woke up from the aftershock of the explosion. "What's going on? It's so noisy." Right before his eyes, the hedgehog and Jo An-soo were fighting fiercely. "Metal soldier, what is he, Superman or something? He can fight evenly with a mutant." At this moment, the hedgehog used his strength to push Jo An-soo away. At the same time, Jo An-soo also exerted a reaction force on him according to the rules of Newton's second law. Both of them fell to the ground. "Phew, it's not easy," Jo An-soo thinks. "I've grown to the size of that thing, but at this level I'm still at a disadvantage." The monster was now roaring. "Although it's a bit dangerous, there's no other way," Jo An-soo gritted his teeth and thought. He decided to take a risk, activating the impurity resistance trait. At the same time the monster transformed into a thorny ball and rolled towards Jo An-soo. "Develop resistance to unclean mana." Jo An-soo encouraged. "You have to believe in yourself," he said, purifying. The deer stood to one side, observing the match, looking very surprised. Jo An-soo is transforming. He transforms into a Super Saiyan. He roared, spraying a large amount of energy towards the hedgehog. That ray of light shot straight up into the sky. Scared deer, what is that? In front of him now is Jo An-soo in beast form. In the deer's head trembling, a monster. He turned into a mutant when he fought one. Jo An-soo's body is now as red as a demon in Japanese mythology, which is a mutant trait of a golden soldier. The deer commander was still in shock. His mind was filled with 10,000 exclamations. He was stunned by Jo An-soo's state. What the hell? Jo An-soo now has a very handsome body, making him feel dangerous. What the hell? He thought, I have to leave here now. Jo An-soo discovered the commander crawling on the ground. He stretched out his giant hand towards the deer. Besides closing his eyes and waiting for death, he didn't know what else to do. But the bloody scene did not happen as we expected. Jo An-soo returned to his human state. He seemed exhausted. This also surprised the deer. He thought, has he returned to being human? At this moment Jo An-soo collapsed to the ground. Breathing in small, rapid breaths, I did it. He said, so the impurity resistance trait is the last line of defense, after eliminating the last line of defense. And you possess the mutant form and mutant muscle. Then you will get a mutation. People often believe that once you become a mutation, you can't go back to the way you were. But I know different. I know that if I just keep a little rationality, I can change my personality, Jo An-soo thought. In the moment when everything hangs in the balance, he is forced to make a choice. He has to change his personality. The mutant body gradually disappeared, giving us back a normal Jo An-soo. The remaining ray of reason was the decisive factor that helped him exchange mutation for impurity resistance. Everything was quiet after the recent battle. Jo An-soo is so tired that he's turning pale. As he rested, he talked to himself internally. It felt like all my bones and muscles were moving. I never want to go through that again. However, Jo An-soo struggled to stand up. Walked to the body of the mutant monster. From its mouth flew a strange purple spherical object with circular patterns interwoven. Jo An-soo took it and examined it. So this was the rank 1 mana core he harvested after the battle. The trophy made Jo An-soo forget all the pain he had just endured. His face was now as bright as a diamond flower. It was all worth it. I thought to myself as I jumped up and down in celebration, I've received a rank 1 mana core. It's really beneficial to do this cleaning job. Behind him were deer and survivors of the battle. He hesitantly asked, are you okay? You turned into a mutant, what happened? The guy asked suspiciously, interrupting Jo An-soo's joy of celebration. He pondered, it would be troublesome if there were any strange rumors about him. He hesitantly answered the others, well, I bet on being able to come back. I'm really lucky. Is that something lucky? The deer asked. It seemed like he still had a lot of questions, but that way too. Before he could finish speaking, Jo An-soo slapped a bunch of glowing gold bars in his hand. Take this. Jo On-soo said generously, now come back here, I want some fresh air. Everyone was shocked at your generosity. What is 0 rank mana core, is there so much of it? Jo On-soo also had a calculation in his mind, since I saved their lives and also gave them a few mana cores, they would probably keep it a secret from me, right? The deer held the mana core and thought for a while. Returned to the director's room. He was warmly entertaining Jo On-soo. Man, I heard you went through some hardships, it must have been terrible. His unusual affability surprised Jo On-soo. He just replied yes and was a bit tired at the end. In his mind, he was confused, why is he suddenly flattering me like that? His next words immediately answered Jo On-soo's question. After all, you should have told us that you were a superhero, we could have given you a proper job instead of cleaning. He thinks he's Superman, Jo On-soo thinks. Further explanation, in Arcane Soul. A superhuman awakens abilities, allowing them to possess powerful mana. Jo On-soo continued to think, well, there was a reason for him to think so, because it took a Superman to defeat mutants. Even though I won, thanks to my personality, at this moment, the director suddenly said, then I guess I should pay you for cleaning. Jo On-soo of course agreed with such a delicious piece, he said, it would be good, but inside he was so happy, temporarily let him think he was a superhero. The director started explaining the salary division. You cleaned 5 areas and we took a fee of 20% from the total 50 million won. If divided equally among the number of people in the group, I will give you 5 million won. But this time we'll do it a little differently. We will only take 5% of your fee and give you an additional bonus, 12 million. Jo On-soo was shocked at the amount he received. At that time, the director added another sentence, we hope to continue working with you. At this moment Jo On-soo was so happy that he smiled with more than 10 teeth, it's great to be a superhero. He thought, now I have all this money, how should I spend it? Suddenly a bald man spoke up, you look happy, right? Must have received quite a bit of money. Jo On-soo also shyly replied, well, we completed the mission, he was one of the people I worked with last time. That guy continued to say, well actually, the reason I came here is because, I want to ask you a favor. Hearing this, Jo On-soo immediately grabbed the money, why do you ask? Well, my wife is really sick, the other guy continued, so I was wondering if you could lend me some money. I'm sorry to ask you for this even though we only worked together once, but, that guy hesitated. Jo On-soo's mind was struggling with thoughts, in this world, helping others when you don't know them well is not good, who knows when they might stab you in the back. That guy bowed down and begged, just taking care of yourself is already difficult, but his kindness prevailed, oh God, don't do that, you're older than me. He held his hand to help this guy up. And put a handful of mana cores in his hand from last time and said, even though it wasn't much, let's use this, he thought, but I felt so bad ignoring him. In a small alley. The guy who just looked pitiful just now smiled evilly at the pile of gold in his hand, how stupid, I just pretended to be a poor old man and he gave me all this money. This guy is the same guy as the deer commander the other day, is he new to the job? The commander asked. The scammer replied, I bet if he said his child was sick again, he would give more. But it's so annoying that he gets paid more than us, he gives us a small amount of money and even pretends to be a superhero to take our share. He's not Superman, the deer said coldly. It's best to teach him a lesson, do you have any ideas? The scammer asked deer. This guy smiled sinisterly and said, don't you realize, there must be some strange ability. Since we know his secret, let us teach him. How scary is this world? His hand crushed all the mana cores Jo On-soo gave him, his face had a sinister smile, and Jo On-soo was still lying immersed in joy. It's so fun to be a good person, I will become a hero in this world at this rate. Under the bright sunlight of a new day, glimpsed through the glass of a skyscraper. Our Jo On-soo, after having money, is enjoying the life of a rich person, lying on the soft bed of the spa. He exclaims, having money is really nice, never thought that one day he would get a massage in a place like this, in the game it is much better than real life. Suddenly the masseuse's hand moved to stand on the injured spot on Jo On-soo's arm, causing him pain. I spent 3 days resting at the hotel, but I'm still in pain, from now on, I have to think twice before using any mutant trait, he thought to himself. Trait change is not as omnipotent as we think, the body changes depending on the trait. The more severe the side effects, the greater the changes to the body. Sighing, Jo On-soo turned over and continued to think, the problem was whether he would still be alive after limiting the use of the trait. Suddenly Jo On-soo saw something. A man covered in tattoos was lying in the sun under the building, around him were dozens of black-shirted guards respectfully waiting. Looking at him he knew he wasn't a simple person. Jo On-soo realized, wait, aren't they the Iron Fist gang, still has that arrogant look. Turns out Arcane Soul is governed more by local gangs than by the law, Joansu mulls. It's true because there are so many around here, people have to depend on superheroes. He sighed and said, well, I managed to barely survive, but just relying on my temperament in such a dangerous place is really stupid. Suddenly he smiled sinisterly. Aren't there still items, Joansu said. At a miscellaneous store. The employee asked Joansu, are you here to sell things? Oh yes, I have some byproducts from monsters, Joansu replied. I said before, we don't buy any level 0 mana cores. This attitude makes Joansu a bit uncomfortable. He replied, I know. What I want to sell is. He opened his backpack and took out the mana core he collected after defeating the hedgehog, making the employee extremely surprised. This is a level 2 mana core. She was shocked. It's strange, take a look. Joansu replied triumphantly, reminiscing about the past made him proud. Seeing her surprised was fun, honing it in the hotel room had paid off. I merged everything I had, thanks to that I had a level 2 mana core. He thought to himself, the price varies depending on the level, sell it for the highest price, that's it. He thought happily, the joy could not be hidden on his face. Without hesitation, the employee closed the order right away. This is the price of core 4,77 million won. The employee gave the money to Joansu. Thank you He smiled and accepted the money. He also asked, do you sell any weapons or armor? Of course, please go this way. It's true that customers with money are king. The employee's attitude was 10 times more welcoming than before. She led him to the place where the armor and weapons were kept. Surprising Joansu, he exclaimed. There's everything here. I thought to myself, all the basic items I use in the game are here Take your time, the employee said. Sure, Joansu replied politely. Looking at your face now is as happy as seeing 10 beautiful long-legged girls in front of you. It's time to equip yourself. When he left, Joansu's backpack was filled with weapons. He said happily, now that he had a weapon, he finally felt like he was playing Arcane Soul. Suddenly a call from behind made Joansu stop walking and apologize. I don't know if you are a mercenary or not, the person who spoke is a very cute girl, I need help. But Joansu is not a mercenary, he denied immediately, I'm not, you should find someone else. This beauty didn't say anything, silently pulled out a lump of money from her pocket and said, I came here on business but the Iron Fist scared me. Can you protect me back to my place? Looking at the money in front of me, Joansu pondered, 500,000 for a bodyguard, like a daily mission, anyway, I'm dressed, I should try. The beauty asked for a favor, how could Joansu refuse? He couldn't ignore a lady in danger, he patted the girl's shoulder. And confidently said, let's go, making her very happy and say loudly, thank you. It was pouring rain at night. In a small slope, the girl leading the way said, almost there, this way. Joansu seemed to feel something was wrong. Why was she in such a remote place, not to mention people, not even an ant? Before she could finish thinking, the girl turned quickly into a corner. Joansu was a bit surprised, he chased after him. Inside the dark alley, I heard a girl calling, they're almost there, so quickly come here. He replied, it's so dark I can't see anything. At this moment, Joansu acquired a new trait of night vision. In his mind he was secretly surprised, he saw it, he didn't think he would acquire such a trait. But suddenly he realized, a black gun was pointing towards him. The person with her hand on the trigger was the beautiful girl who looked weak. She coldly said, you're more cautious than I thought. Joansu was very surprised. Gun, who is this woman? He wondered and then suddenly realized, wait, is it a trap? Taking a step back, behind him, the dear commander had been standing there for some time. He smirked and asked, where are you going, Junior? From every corner of the alley, his juniors rushed out, making Joansu unable to keep up. He said, nice to see you again, don't you think so? Joansu looked around curiously, asking him back, what did I do, that you did this? The guy leisurely replied, nothing, it's just that you look stupid, there's no other reason, you gullible bastard. But while this guy was talking nonsense, Joansu quickly dodged and ran straight out, leaving him and his juniors behind. Angry, he shouted, you coward, started a conversation and then ran away. Shoot him, he ordered. The woman immediately opened fire. The bullet went straight into Joansu's shoulder, blood splattered out, it was too painful. Joansu slipped and fell down the stairs. The other guy didn't expect it either, he said, what the hell, I should have shot him in the leg. Not shooting at people. The woman coldly replied, "It's better than letting him escape." The deer man cursed, "Damn it, it seems like he's dead." Below the stairs, Jo-on-soo lay motionless in a pool of blood. He transformed back into a human after mutating. The deer calculated that surely some magicians would be willing to buy this kid's body. "If we could capture him alive, we would have had more money." One of the guys spoke up and robbed him of his bag and equipment. The deer stroked the hair on his head and replied, "It's no use, let's do that first." Ha! In just a blink of an eye, the place where Jo-on-soo's body used to be is now empty. Shocking everyone, where was his body? A broken mirror fell straight down on the head of the guy who scammed Jo-on-soo last time, making him scream in pain. They were all extremely confused now, frantically searching for what was going on. They asked each other, "Don't say, is he still alive?" The deer was suspicious. "Bingo, congratulations dear, Jo-on-soo is still alive," he grinned. He answered the guy, "I'm still alive." Activating a series of traits to help Jo-on-soo turn danger into safety, he took a fighting stance and said, "I can't die for someone who repays favor with revenge." Reliving the past through Jo-on-soo's thoughts, "Luckily I bought a bulletproof vest at the store. The bullet did not take Jo-on-soo's life, but also gives him a new trait, pretending to be dead." It turned out that the thing that just hit the scammer's head was a streetlight. Now everything was dark, causing the people to return grudges for favors and panic. He broke the streetlights. "I couldn't see anything. Where the hell was he?" Suddenly Jo-on-soo appeared behind the deer and said softly, "You looking for me? I saved your life, now I'll take it back." As he finished speaking, he threw a punch towards his opponent's throat. He was scared pale. He cursed him, "This son of a bitch." A punch came straight towards the deer, along with Jo-on-soo's angry words, "Because I saved your life, I will take it back. Bastard." One punch. Jo-on-soo beat the deer to the ground. He stood up and counterattacked. Both limbs and mouth are working, "You dog," cursing and kicking at Jo-on-soo. He dodged the attack neatly, immediately giving him another blow. "You should be grateful that I saved you. Do you think trying to kill your own savior is the right thing to do?" The punch caused the deer to fall to the ground. Jo-on-soo lifted his foot and wanted to kick him in the head. Suddenly the woman from earlier opened fire. "You're over there, aren't you? Are you okay?" The shot from earlier grazed Jo-on-soo's arm. "I was too careless," he thought. In Arcane Soul, the scariest thing is not monsters or mutants, but humans. "I was too naive and trusted others too easily." Jo-on-soo pulled out a gun from his side pocket. He coldly cocked the gun, secretly determined in his heart, he would not repeat that mistake again. Shot down the gun in the woman's hand earlier. Bullets were fired consecutively, aiming straight at his opponent. "Ungrateful people." After giving them enough to eat, Jo-on-soo said, "Enough." The bullets shot into the wall one after another. He continued, "Yes, we have to kill deer to ensure safety. Just realized it." The deer got up and attacked Jo-on-soo from behind. Human legs have been replaced by deer legs. He has awakened and become a level 1 superhero. Jo-on-soo also realized this. Has his leg changed? This terrible game, he silently cursed. Superman awakened. On the phone screen is the Metal Warrior's trait interface, because all characters can go through the superhero awakening stage. After pressing the Superman Awaken button on the phone, the Metal Warrior became the Superman Metal Warrior, which is considered a basic development stage of this game. According to the world in Arcane Soul, a level 1 Superman, strong enough to threaten any commoner just carrying a rifle, Jo-on-soo thought. Quickly get away from this newly formed danger, or in other words, he thought to himself, "I have to fight a Superman with nothing but this normal body. I will kill you," the deer said coldly. His eyes flashed with cold yellow light, and the energy field around his body also radiated, proving that he was much stronger than before. Suddenly he disappeared, making Jo-on-soo very surprised. "He's gone," Jo-on-soo thought in confusion. Around the deer is now a strange magic formation. That is the characteristic of deer, moving in all directions and kicking. Every sound hits the wall. With four-way movement, users can use their extremely elastic legs to freely move in any direction. Just saw him suddenly appear behind Jo-on-soo. Run along the wall. Jumping down from above, he couldn't keep up, he used all-round movement to climb up the wall of the building. Before Jo-on-soo could think any more, he rushed forward, carrying hatred and murderous intent, shouting, "I will kill you." "I have to dodge," Jo-on-soo thought to himself. He jumped out, avoiding the deer's sudden jump. "This guy is bitter, can you avoid it?" But this time it won't work anymore, he tiptoed. Kicked straight towards Jo-on-soo. and laughed happily. But it seems that the result is not what he imagined. Sorry, but I have no intention of avoiding, Jo-An-Soo said calmly. He used his weapon to block the deer's kick, causing him to stiffen with glue. Beast, Jo-An-Soo curses so civilized. Buying a cane is a good idea, Jo-An-Soo thinks. A few hours ago at the weapons store, Jo-An-Soo stood contemplating the items hanging on the wall. Is it worth buying a gun, he wondered, but because the Golden Warrior is a character with the warrior profession. Even if I get stronger, my shooting skills will only reach a certain limit. He picked up a stick and pondered. To prevent this, I will buy another warrior-level weapon. The two sides, one deer's leg and one stick, struggled with each other. Finally the two used force to separate each other. Each character had weapons and more effective characteristics for their profession, Jo-An-Soo thought. He waved the stick in his hand. Strike straight towards the opponent, that's why, to win back the deer. I need to use a melee weapon and characteristics suitable for a warrior, Jo-An-Soo thought. The stick gave a painful blow to the deer's body, causing him to collapse to the ground. At the same time, Jo-An-Soo also acquires a new characteristic, fighting. Looking at the stick in his hand, his heart was secretly happy. Okay, his first job-specific characteristic, the stick in Jo-An-Soo's hand radiated light blue light. He rushed forward and started using his skills. Double beheading, upper beheading, beheading, all the attacks that make the deer unable to keep up. Jo-An-Soo continued, slashing horizontally, forcing the opponent to step back. But he immediately turned upside down. Kicks towards Jo-An-Soo. Damn, this is my chance. Should I avoid it? Jo-An-Soo wondered. Now he couldn't stop anymore and had to continue attacking. Jo-An-Soo slammed a stick straight towards the deer's thigh. At the same time, he also received a kick from him. But he acquired a new characteristic, combination. Seems like Jo-An-Soo already knows what it is. Here he is, he smiles evilly. The greatest characteristic built for the warrior profession in the early stages. Jo-An-Soo seemed to grow 6 more arms, slashing continuously at the deer. Made him painfully ask for forgiveness after eating Jo-An-Soo's combo and combination. Please stop. But before he could finish his sentence, Jo-An-Soo stabbed the stick through his body. He fell to the ground in Jo-An-Soo's joy. I did it, I defeated an awakened deer. Suddenly Jo-An-Soo's hand felt like it was smoking. His whole body seemed to be on fire. This feeling, what was it, he wondered. My whole body hurts so much, like there's a big fire about to cover Jo-An-Soo's body, but I still feel like something is overflowing inside my body. He groaned in pain, hugging his body. Don't say this is. A huge explosion erupted. Around Jo-An-Soo's body, a golden energy source spread out. The day I learned the cruel truth of the world of arcane soul. Jo-An-Soo is looking at the changes happening in his body in shock. You have awakened, level 1 superhero metal warrior. Look at the new body full of strength. Fake superpower, Jo-An-Soo clenched his fists. I looked up at the sky and shouted loudly, I've finally become a superpower user. On that dirty face is a never-before-seen joy. Not only will I receive an invitation to become a mercenary with a high salary, but I will also get a bank loan with a low interest rate, Jo-An-Soo said happily while standing on his hand, not noticing that there was a figure behind him. So are you done now? That guy asked, turning around to see it was a man with muscular shoulders carrying a big gun on his shoulder. Jo-An-Soo seemed to recognize him. This guy was, he thought to himself. Kim Iron Fist. He is the second basic character appearing in Arcane Soul after Kim Soldier. A character from the Special Forces class, using firepower as his main weapon, specializing in shooting with prosthetic hands. The problem is, Kim Iron Fist is the powerful boss of the Iron Fist gang in the underworld. Jo-An-Soo was a bit suspicious, he thought, since he fought in their territory, he must have angered them a lot. The Iron Fist guy laughed and asked Jo-An-Soo, did you check where this was before causing this mess? At the same time, he also pointed the gun, causing Jo-An-Soo to be scared pale and stammer out an explanation. I was attacked too suddenly, even I couldn't just die there. Kim smiled, so he held his gun and said, so you're saying they're scarier than the Iron Fist gang? Looking at this scene, Jo-An-Soo tensed up and thought, gun, if we fight in this situation, I will definitely die. That guy put a gun to Jo-An-Soo's chest and said, dude, your choice is very wrong. Let me tell you what will happen if you pollute our territory, the Needleman threatened. Jo-An-Soo quietly said, is that so? But you missed one thing. He grabbed the gun. I firmly say, I'm not the type of person who dies that easily. Then, With force, he pulled the trigger straight, surprising the gunman. This idiot just pulled the trigger himself, he's a bit panicked. "Ah, what is this?" he exclaimed when he saw the bullet wound on Jo-on-soo's body healing. He has obtained the regeneration attribute. Jo-on-soo hugged the wound and said softly, "It tickled. This makes Kim Iron Fist quite interesting. Oh, look at you, you have such interesting abilities." Jo-on-soo smiled and thought, the upgraded version of the recovery and regeneration attributes, it is an attribute received when becoming a level 1 fake ability. As soon as they start looking down on me, it'll be over, so I'll use deception. Jo-on-soo pointed behind his back and said to the group of people in front of him, "As you can see, I didn't survive just by luck. I don't care who you are, if you mess with me, Golden Soldiers, you better prepare yourself." Kim Iron Fist smiled and asked him, "Golden Soldier, is that your name? I like your bravery." "Okay, this time I will forgive you." This surprised Jo-on-soo, but Kim continued, "But if so then you owe me a lot." He reached out and placed his fake hand on his shoulder. Leaned his head closer and said, "I'm sure you know what that means." Jo-on-soo replied to him, "Yes, I will remember," wondering in his head, does he recognize me? The Kim guy seemed like he was really going to let it go. He held out his hand and said, "Okay, let's work together next time." Jo-on-soo hesitated a bit. He thought, Kim Tae-Hu-yen is not the type of person who will betray him. Building a relationship here is not a bad choice. "That sounds good," Jo-on-soo replied and also held out his hand. Grabbed the Golden Iron Fist's fake hand and said, "See you next time." Jo-on-soo is standing in front of Jamsil, the superpower tower. He admired and praised, "When I saw it in the game I didn't know anything, but it's truly glorious." The inside of the glorious tower made Jo-on-soo excitedly look everywhere, full of praise, completely different from his town. A beautiful employee came to greet Jo-on-soo, thanking him for visiting the superpower tower. "Can I help you?" Jo-on-soo blushed and thought, "What is this? She's so beautiful. But she looks familiar. Is she an NPC?" The employee continued to say, "If you came here to get a fake superpower certificate, please go to that machine over there to measure mana and attributes." She pointed to a huge and sophisticated machine. Jo-on-soo said, thank you," and walked towards the machine. Then talked to myself in my head, I didn't even ask anything, but she still guided me, so I look so clueless. Anyway, once I get the fake superpower certificate, I will be able to start a real life in Arcane Soul. Suddenly something appeared that made the crowd noisy. Jo-on-soo froze. What the hell? In the crowd, someone shouted loudly, looking up at the ceiling, "The Saint is here." Jo-on-soo also looked up and wondered, "Saint? But that's just a hot air balloon, right?" A beam of golden light shines straight down from the sky, blinding everyone. Jo-on-soo realized what this is. This is Godfather's instructions. From within the circle of light, tall people wearing sturdy iron armor stepped out. Leading the group is a girl with a gentle smile, but it seems she is not that simple. Jo-on-soo asked himself, why the hell is the boss here? Everyone clasped their hands in reverence and called her the Saintess of the Godfather's instructions. It was truly an honor. Jo-on-soo stood there thinking, because he was still in the tutorial phase, so she was a saint, not a boss monster. But if the plot continues, it will be revealed that the main directive is actually a cult disguised as a religious organization. And they will start attacking people indiscriminately. These poor ignorant people are still blindly worshipping their Saintess. The Saintess came here to measure mana, she must have come here to rebuild her level. The Saint walked to the machine. It started to work, emitting blinding light and loud noises. Jo-on-soo covered his eyes and said, the sound of measuring mana was so loud. After the end, everyone held their breath waiting for the results. Saintess, 27, Priest class, Mana level 8, Magic Circle class 6. The results made everyone excited. What the hell is level 8? The sound of measuring mana was so loud, the crowd cheered. But this makes Jo-on-soo panic. She even has 6 attributes. That's huge, he thought. This is not the time to celebrate. A level 8 fake superpower that can be compared to a fleet of combat ships, a national mobile superpower. I'm a bit helpless standing in front of a bunch of Jo-on-soo fanatics, but even if I say it now, they'll treat me like I'm crazy and stone me. Let's think about the future later, for now just measure my mana first, Jo-on-soo decided. He stood in front of the mana meter pondering, if a rookie like me had 6 attributes, I would get a lot of attention, so I'll reduce it to 3. Suddenly the Saintess noticed Jo-on-soo. She stopped and looked at him, surprising his subordinates, and asked, Your Excellency, what's going on? In response, she said, it seems like there is someone unusual here. I don't know when. She came up behind Jo On-soo, leaned her head and spoke into his ear. It seems like you have a very interesting ability. The action made Jo On-soo startled. He turned around and said loudly, damn it, it startled me. Suddenly he stopped. Wait, what the hell did the boss just say to me? Did she just sense that I changed my attributes? Jo On-soo thought confusedly. The saint's smiling face scared Jo On-soo. He thought, could it be that she sensed that she was transforming her characteristics? Everyone there was talking loudly. What happened to the saint? She looked normal, right? Suddenly she grabbed Jo On-soo's hand and asked, Soldier, what's your name? Jo On-soo stammered in response, I'm Soldier Kim. Suddenly he realized, in Arcane Soul, when the saint asked his name. I only saw the gentle saint saying, then Soldier Kim, I, on behalf of the old congregation, will baptize you. Former owner of the black metal throne, always yearning for those who possess rare power like him. She grabbed Jo On-soo's hand, yellow runes appeared on both his hand and the saint's hand. Submit to him and find peace in this hellish earth, she said. Everyone around was very jealous of Jo On-soo. The baptism, so jealous, was the saint herself baptized. But it seems like Jo On-soo doesn't feel happy about this ceremony. Damn it, he mentally scolds. If you agree to receive baptism and have the characteristics of baptism, then I'll become the holy knight of the order. Lost again in the war with great powers in Arcane Soul in the future. Like, being forced to buy stocks that are about to go bankrupt. Jo On-soo gritted his teeth and pulled his hand out of the saint's hand. Severing the magical connection between the two people, this action made everyone around them extremely surprised. Jo On-soo knelt straight down on the ground and said, I refuse to be baptized. Making the saint very surprised, she asked him, did I hear wrong? No, I'm serious, Jo On-soo replied to her. The saint's face darkened. She said, it's up to you, serving or denying the gods is your freedom. But the ex-wife chose you. She walked up and grabbed his shoulder and said, don't forget that the dust of the gods has clung to you. If you can't overcome that little bit of dust, then your small freedom, it doesn't mean anything anymore. After saying that, she turned around and left, leaving Jo On-soo confused. The dust of the gods is like a fire that burns Jo On-soo. The people around him began to point at him, the insignificant thing that dared to refuse baptism. What an atheist, what a pitiful person, activating the attribute, divine fire, having to endure endless burning pain for the crime of refusing baptism. Jo On-soo thought painfully, I had expected it, but my whole body was so hot it felt like it was burning. Divine fire, one of the strongest negative states in Arcane Soul. The constant burning fever of the divine fire makes everyday life difficult, and there is no way to relieve it other than going to the cathedral to receive baptism. Jo On-soo writhed in pain thinking, I refused because I thought about the future, but now I'm about to die. His eyes gradually lost focus. Suddenly a stream of water poured down on Jo On-soo's face. He vaguely recognized a figure. Soldier, are you okay? He realized, this person is the person who guided me earlier. Jo On-soo was surprised. Because of the magic fire, people shunned me and no one helped me. I'm so grateful to her. Thanks to the girl's help, Jo On-soo tried to sit up. He told himself, that's right, come on, just a little longer. You received a notification, you have received the fire resistance property. Jo On-soo sat cross-legged and calmed down, taking a deep breath. He thought to himself, I didn't refuse the baptism without thinking. The negative state of divine fire has the characteristic of becoming stronger depending on the amount of magical power of the subject. I'm only a level 1 soldier, so the divine fire is weak. There are still a few ways to solve it. Jo On-soo's hand trembled as he raised it. The first condition is to have the fire resistance property. The divine fire flared up so fiercely that Jo On-soo couldn't control the pain and had to scream. The employee panicked and poured water on Jo On-soo and encouraged him to stay strong. Thanks to that, Jo On-soo calmed down a bit, the cool water in the midst of extreme pain. I have to focus on this opposing feeling, he thought to himself. Jo On-soo sat there like an austere monk about to attain enlightenment. Burning pain and cold reason. Looks like you've found your breaking point. An explosive source of energy. The fire around Jo On-soo's body has disappeared. You have received the magic shield attribute. Jo On-soo was happy. I did it. Level 1 shared trait every defensive warrior must have, magic shield. The employee stammered and asked after him, oh my god, are you okay? Jo On-soo replied, yes, thanks to you, I'm okay. Everyone around was surprised. Did you overcome the divine fire? What is this? Did he use hacking? Jo An-soo thought happily, although it wasn't completely overcome, it was just a temporary solution using a shield, but now the burning pain has been escaped, the black flame looks cool, maybe only soldiers can see it. Now let's try to measure the amount of magic power, Jo An-soo said as he walked to the magic power meter. You said increase, the measurement is complete. Information appears, 22-year-old metal warrior, warrior type, magic level 1, circuit characteristic 6. The information surprised everyone and made everyone talk. Oh, level 1 already has 6 characteristics, maybe a super rookie was born, so that's why she is a saint. Jo An-soo stood there accepting everyone's gossip. I'm standing out too much, my goal is to get stronger in silence, he thought, because he has a magic shield, he can't reduce the number of characteristics. The staff member who welcomed him sent his congratulations, soldier, since I started working until now, this is the first time I've seen someone with a pulse of 6 right from the start, haha. So let's go get a soldier certification card, the employee said to Jo An-soo. Here is your soldier identification card. Congratulations on being officially recognized as a soldier. Holding the card in my pocket, Jo An-soo cried tears of joy. He said, how hard I had to work to get it. The employee continued to say, well then I would like to inform you about the privileges for level 1 soldiers, first, but before she could say anything she was interrupted by Jo An-soo. I know everything, he said excitedly. Tax reduction, privileges to use weapons, and when leveling up, all taxes are exempted, the privilege of not being arrested, free use of all means of transportation and many other benefits. The employee was also surprised by Jo An-soo's information. Oh, you're so knowledgeable. Jo An-soo proudly said, I'm a doctor of games, no, a doctor of warfare, haha. By the way, he continued, I'm the type of person who doesn't like to waste time. Outside the glass door, a bunch of people gathered around taking pictures, waiting with the desire to recruit him to their team. I had to bring him to my guild. Super rookie, I have to write a special article about him, can I get his autograph? The beautiful employee stood up and turned around to smile at Jo An-soo, making him blush. Is there a way to go out quietly? In the blink of an eye, the two of them had escaped from the crowd. Haha, yes, I had prepared in advance. The two of them put on black robes and walked quickly forward. Jo An-soo turned his head and looked back and said, he also gave me his invisibility cloak and secret guide. It's nothing, just helping each other, the employee replied. Jo An-soo received a notification, you have received the invisibility trait. I didn't expect to have this delicious peach branch added to it, he happily thought. The employee pointed forward and said, soldier, just go straight this way to get out, according to regulations, I can only guide you here. Jo An-soo bowed 90 degrees to thank her. That's enough, thank you very much today, yes haha, she smiled and said to him, so be careful. Looking at the back of the employee leaving, Jo An-soo thought to himself, he didn't expect there to be such a kind person in Arcane Soul. She's also beautiful, I'll definitely repay her when I get stronger. Well, what's her name? I think I have the business card from before. Looking at the business card, Jo An-soo was stunned. What Baek So Ri? Baek Ro Ri is one of the 3 strongest SSR warrior characters in the game. Because it's a swordsman, it always looks scary, but I still find it familiar. Turns out she always looks fierce in the game, so I can't imagine. I didn't expect Baek So Ri to be such a kind person. What happened in the end? I don't know. Jo An-soo is still gaping in surprise behind. Baek So Ri is still happily thinking, it's good that the soldier is okay. The last one, Jo An-soo shouted after destroying an unclean slime. He stood breathing heavily. His face was haggard. He thought, what the hell is a soldier, because he has been cleaning the dungeon for a week. I'll probably die from overwork. Jo An-soo sat down on the ground and said, sigh, I've just finished cleaning a cave and I'm so tired. He sat and considered the equipment characteristics table, not sure if this method would be effective, because he had adjusted all the characteristics to maintain the magic shield. If I used the specialized feature to clean up the monster cave, it would have been done a long time ago. Jo An-soo looked down at his hand that was glowing with blue fire and thought to himself, because of this damn debuff, he couldn't do anything else. To remove toxic heat, you need a rare item called nectar. It's so expensive, how can I afford this kind of plowing and cleaning? Jo An-soo held his head and thought in despair, just when Jo An-soo's phone vibrated. You picked up the phone and complained, calling so many times, it's so persistent. The screen displayed the name Director Choi So-jong. He mumbled the name and pressed the shutdown button. It was over between us. Jo An-soo smiled cunningly. Wait. At the director's office, he was smiling and flattering Jo An-soo. Isn't there a way already? Recruiting talents, "Oh my god, here is our assistant Kim, who overcame the heat without difficulty. Starter with 6 different characteristics." The director was full of praise for Jo On-soo. "It was such an honor to meet the main character," Jo On-soo nonchalantly replied. "Well, I didn't expect it to turn out like that." "By the way, what I asked you, have you found yet?" he asked Jo On-soo, without saying anything to Jo On-soo. Stood up to leave. "If I can't find it then I will." The director quickly stopped. No, he said, "this is an issue related to your contract. I have to find it. I have found it." Jo On-soo also has his own thoughts. "If it was Major Choi, who aspired for a warrior contract, I thought he would find me a mission with a nectar reward." "So what's the mission?" Jo On-soo asked. The director immediately brought up an information board. "Have you ever heard of Gel Security?" Jo On-soo doubts. "Gel Security, first time I heard. Is that a security company?" The director explained further. It was a private military company, one of the 10 largest companies. The director and deputy director were husband and wife. They come from a long-standing martial arts family, so their foundation is very solid. Jo On-soo wondered, what does such a rich person lack that they have to ask for help? The director immediately continued, "The problem lies with the boy I found. Even though he's over 20 years old, he still hasn't awakened his warrior abilities. In the picture, he's an extremely handsome guy." Jo On-soo also wondered, are both husband and wife from a martial arts family? The director added more information. "Rumor is that he has accumulated level 8 magic power but has not awakened yet. That is why this is a mystery. The condition set by their side is that a person has awakened to a level 1 warrior or higher. This is the perfect mission for you, warrior." Jo On-soo ponders in thought. He said, "Let's meet them first." At a private mansion. Jo On-soo and the director are sitting and waiting. The director said, "It seems the director and his wife are busy. They are not the ones who usually come late." Jo On-soo looked around and thought, "This house really smells like money." Suddenly someone came. "Sorry, you guys have been waiting for a long time, right?" Jo On-soo and the director were both surprised. A middle-aged couple walked up. The wife said, "The requester was Seo Jong-yo and Lee Mi-ri." Immediately the director stood up, bowed and said, "Oh no, you two are so polite. Thank you everyone for taking the time to come here." The woman said, Jo On-soo was also secretly surveying the two of them. They were probably at least level 6 warriors. Both of them have strength that is not ordinary. The husband doesn't seem to like Jo On-soo very much. "Humph, you can see that this guy is useless. What are you saying?" the wife scolded. "If this continues then go to the room." "No way, the husband won't agree, he's really stubborn. Sit down." The wife said to the two of them, "Yes, Deputy Director, I look forward to receiving help from you." The two of them said, "The Deputy Director looks quite gentle." She asked, "The fact that you two are here means, are you two coming to accept our mission?" Jo On-soo immediately replied, "First, I want to check your son's condition, if there is any special reason why he can't wake up." Before he could finish speaking, the husband slammed the table and stood up, shouting. A new soldier appeared from nowhere. "Do you think I will obediently tell you?" Seeing that, the wife immediately stood up to appease the husband. "Honey, calm down. Sorry he was so stressed about the children's issues. This is not a matter worth revealing to outsiders. If we accept the mission, we will call our son and explain to the two of you. The warrior also needs a nectar, right?" She seemed to see Jo On-soo's problem. He sat quietly thinking, a problem he couldn't reveal about his son. They knew exactly what they wanted. I became more and more certain. Immediately Jo On-soo showed a smiling face and agreed, "Then I will accept the mission. Please call your son." The door opens. The guy in the photo walked in. "Hello, I'm Seo Woo-jin." Jo On-soo also walked over to say hello. "Oh yes, nice to meet you." While shaking his hand, Jo On-soo thought, it's surprising not to feel any magic power. Jo On-soo suddenly realized. "Woo-jin, your gloves are so beautiful." "Ah yes." Woo-jin continued, "Yes, it's a precious item to me, but I always use it with gratitude." "That's right," Jo On-soo said. "Woo-jin must need a strong magic seal." The words surprised the whole family. "Looking at the gloves, I was sure," Jo On-soo continued, "this is an important matter involving a noble family, but they set a condition requiring a level 1 warrior. The simplest reason I can think of is they lured me with nectar as bait." In the past, the image of the baptism that happened to Jo On-soo also appeared on Woo-jin. He asked, "Woo-jin, you were also baptized by the church, right? The reason your son couldn't awaken was because he refused to be baptized. He sealed his magic power to avoid divine punishment. So, he couldn't publicly announce it." Jo An-soo continued, recently I heard a rumor that a level 1 warrior passed the baptism ceremony and divine punishment. He must be the reason you came to me. Hearing this, Woojin was very excited. It's great, I don't need to explain more, it's like you're the main character in a detective novel, Jo An-soo said proudly. I grasped the situation simply. But in his mind, he thought, if he knew the future, nothing would be difficult. I had a hunch from the moment I saw the photo. Seo Woojin in the future became the pioneer paladin of the Holy War Order. If he refuses the baptism ceremony and tries to go against the orders of the congregation, until his parents lose power, a dark future awaits him. Woojin's whole family now sees Jo An-soo as their savior. The father asked if there was any way for my Woojin to escape the baptism ceremony. Looking at this scene, Jo An-soo was thinking, he was so arrogant before, haha, now he's convinced, of course it's possible. He replied, you think someone like me who spent 10,000 hours in Arcane Soul doesn't know how? Jo An-soo thought, what do you think? Jo An-soo put his hand on Woojin's shoulder and said, you think someone like me who spent 10,000 hours in Arcane Soul doesn't know how? Trust me, I will definitely help you get out of it. Woojin heard this and was moved to tears, calling Jo An-soo, teacher. Then hugged him tightly. Jo An-soo's mind was now full of plans, a saint or something, a fake person who still dared to perform the baptism ceremony for me. Your potential future subordinates are now on my side. Trust me, I will definitely help you get out of it, Jusoo affirmed. Teacher, Woojin's eyes filled with tears. What a warm embrace scene. Jo An-soo also has his own thoughts in his heart. How dare those fake people even dare to perform the baptism ceremony? He smiled sinisterly, your powerful subordinates are now on my side. Gently pushed Woojin away. He added, but before proceeding with the treatment, I would like to add some additional conditions. The suspicious couple asked again, please add one additional condition. The difficulty of this request has increased, hasn't it? Jo An-soo asked. The wife replied, yes, it's no longer a matter of awakening magic power but overcoming this illness. Please do it, if you can save my Woojin, the wife said, wiping her tears. Jo An-soo slowly stated his conditions. The additional condition is, I want to be taught not to destroy the sword. The couple's face darkened. The boy was also startled. The deputy director took a step forward. There was great pressure around her body. She asked Jo An-soo, you? I completely understand what you just said, right? The pressure radiating from his eyes made Jo An-soo panic. What murderous intent is this? Deputy director, she is even scarier than the director. Please be gentle, the husband reminded softly. I understand that she is angry, yes, but... Jo An-soo thought hesitantly, without breaking the sword, people would think that the decision to learn swordsmanship in the 21st century information age was very strange. However, it's completely different in Arcane Soul, where the strong come to power. Because a super swordsman can easily destroy a tank. A high-level martial artist is likened to a squadron of fighter jets worth trillions of won. If a level 1 superhero learns and practices continuously without breaking the sword, then they can reach level 4 without any difficulty. This is basically a cheating stage in the early stages of the game. Jo An-soo imagines the day when he reaches level 4 easily. I remember that only the elite can learn this sword art, Jo An-soo thought, standing in front of the murderous deputy director. He added with a trembling voice, of course only if I complete the mission. Mom, Woojin softly called the director. She was startled, seemingly compromised. Gathered his killing intent and said, I'm okay. If you succeed, I will give you the memory chip containing that sword technique and the nectar. Looking at the couple bowing their heads in agreement, Jo An-soo was really surprised. Really? He asked, okay, he thought happily, immediately bowed down to the couple, thanking her. He thought he was about to die. Now he has swordsmanship. It's amazing, he happily shouted in his head. However, the deputy general also added, however, if we fail, my husband and I may be very disappointed, even angry. That will not happen, I assure you. Jo An-soo affirms, okay, then it's better to start as soon as possible. Jo An-soo says, let's start now. The group moved to a large room, a room with a magic concentration circle. And 200 medium-level magical potions. We will prepare everything you require, the deputy general said. This is enough, Jo An-soo continued. I want to be alone with the patient during the treatment, so can you? I'm sorry about what happened earlier. My family's Woojin was forced to be baptized even before he started school. The vice president talked about her son's past, how he never had a chance to make friends, let alone go on a picnic with the family. It had to endure being forced to be stuck in the room. It seems we are being too sensitive, she bows down to Jo-An-Soo. From now on, I will completely leave this matter to you. What a wonderful mother, Jo-An-Soo thought. Everyone in their family had to endure this because of the goddess's trap. Mom, I'm fine. Woojin hugged his mother's shoulders to comfort his mother. In the last game he turned against his own family. No wonder he became such a cold person. Jo-An-Soo thinks, I feel sorry for them. Don't worry, I will succeed at any cost. Jo-An-Soo affirmed. After the vice president left, Jo-An-Soo stretched and said, now it's just the two of us here. Let's start. Woojin seemed a bit scared. His body trembled like a leaf and asked, what should I do? Seeing that, Jo-An-Soo was at a loss for words to reassure him. Why are you shaking so much? Just calm down, bro. It seems like the previous treatments left Woojin's psychological ghosts. He asked, don't you plan to torture me with some kind of syringe or electric shock to force me to wake up? Hearing this, Jo-An-Soo was speechless. How have you been treated for so long? Jo-An-Soo seemed to have a treatment plan in mind for this case. Well, the usual treatment to cure holy magic fever was to drink nectar after awakening. However, because Seo Woojin had too much mana accumulated in his body, the fever was too intense to awaken him. Everything would fail. You don't have to worry, but you have to remember one thing, Jo-An-Soo reassured and reminded you. Keep everything you see during today's treatment private, I promise. Woojin replied firmly, okay, I'll start. Jo-An-Soo started working. First expand the mana barrier to the maximum limit, then the barrier will become weaker, and then the divine fire started to burn Jo-An-Soo. Oh, so hot. He exclaimed. At this moment, Jo-An-Soo immediately opened the lid of the medicine bottle. Pouring it straight into his mouth made Woojin confused. Jo-An-Soo drinks continuously. Tastes bad, he thought to himself. After drinking drugs like drinking alcohol. Jo-An-Soo received the notification, harvested, addicted to the potion, damage received and mana consumption increased, but the effects of the potion increased abnormally. Having acquired the drug addiction trait, I now concentrate my mana into a shield. Whatever you think, Jo-An-Soo creates a shield in the designated area. He thought happily, the fever of holy magic had been completely pushed out by the barrier. This action makes Woojin admire. It's so amazing. Jo-An-Soo seems to still have skills that haven't been shown yet. It's surprising too soon. Now. He had to take off his mana-warming gloves, and put his hand outside the barrier. The words made Woojin petrified. He still obediently answered, yes. Jo-An-Soo reached out his hand. Then, just hold my hand. Then wouldn't there be a resonance reaction between the two holy magic fevers? Woojin hesitated a bit. Jo-An-Soo stepped forward to reassure him. You'll be fine as long as you stay inside the barrier. When did Jo-An-Soo step outside the barrier? Don't ask why, just do as I say. Jo-An-Soo reassured Woojin. Woojin was tense. This is the first time I took off my gloves. After being baptized. The holy fire that began to flare up around Woojin's body flared up fiercely. Jo-An-Soo held his hand and thought to himself, how much mana does he have in his body? Their hands clasped tightly together. Jo-An-Soo thought, this is crazy, but a pain like an electric shock runs through Jo-An-Soo's body. I couldn't stand it, he screamed, it hurts so much. It's even more painful than being baptized by a saint, my bones are falling into pieces. Jo-An-Soo bit his lip and told himself, but I have to stay focused and endure this pain. He silently scolded the Saintess, you bastard Saintess, the damn holy power fever. After enduring for a while, Jo-An-Soo rushed straight into the barrier. The fire gradually disappeared. He pushed Woojin down. Hand still holding Woojin's wrist tightly. Jo-An-Soo receives notifications, absorbs damage, the user can absorb damage from others. It was successful, I took off my gloves but it's okay, Woojin happily said. Jo-An-Soo replied, yes, that's why he had to do all that nonsense. Explaining the mechanism just now, in addition to using the barrier, I used damage absorption to transfer part of the holy magic fever to myself, meaning that Woojin's holy magic fever was significantly reduced. This is the final step. Jo-An-Soo picks up a wooden sword. Gave it to Woojin and said, don't stop, attack me until you wake up. Okay, Woojin grabbed the sword. It's time to use the swordsmanship he practiced since he was a child. He holds a sword. Woojin started attacking Jo-An-Soo fiercely. His strong fighting power surprised Jo-An-Soo. What, he broke iron armor with a wooden sword, Jo-An-Soo thought in panic. At the same time, you will also receive a notification that you have obtained protective properties. Even if I have this characteristic, I will still be in a critical state if I get hit by that attack. Jo-An-Soo thought in confusion as he avoided Woojin's attacks. this guy hasn't awakened yet. What kind of swordsmanship did she teach this kid? After dodging one of Woojin's killer moves, Jo On-soo has acquired an avoidance trait. It seems like Jo On-soo feels something, it's air, he's about to wake up, Jo On-soo thinks. Around Woojin's body began to appear energy radiating golden light. What? Jo On-soo was surprised, both the sword and Seo Woojin were glowing the same color. Level SSR Seo Woojin, Human Sword Fusion. Don't tell me, that's the best swordsman. Reaching a state where man and sword become one is an extremely powerful trait for a warrior. But that guy is completely in a trance. Woojin is stronger now than ever. Made Jo On-soo extremely panicked. He thought to himself, if I get hit by that attack, my life will be over. He's in a state of complete ecstasy, Jo On-soo silently affirms. Look at the crazy guy rushing to attack me. Jo On-soo silently thought, I will die if I get hit by this. In his mind, he was calculating how to save his life. First he had to promote every possible defensive characteristic. And focusing the shields on his two hands, Jo On-soo started to move. The help of the mana ring in this room. Jo On-soo's body received Woojin's attack. A huge explosion occurred. After the impact, smoke and dust flew everywhere. Jo On-soo has acquired a new characteristic. Mana Shield, a shield built from energy in front of Jo On-soo blocked Jo On-soo's attack. I did it. I combined the Mana Shield and protection properties. Jo On-soo was secretly happy. Just a person with a wooden sword almost killed me after that slash just now. Woojin seems exhausted. He fell to the ground. Lost consciousness. How dare he lose consciousness in peace after almost killing me, he was bitter. Oh, he's sleeping. After careful consideration, he confirmed, I guess he went a little crazy after waking up. In the game, Seo Woojin is a strong character, with SSR level. But because he has awakened as a warrior, not a knight. Looks like I created a monster warrior, Jo On-soo thought fearfully, by awakening Seo Woojin into a warrior instead of a knight. I don't know how this change will affect the future story. Jo On-soo carried the unconscious Woojin on his shoulders. Well, he is a silver spoon with unparalleled power, and now he owes me a favor, not so bad he. Jo On-soo silently calculates the benefits for me. Returning to Woojin's bedroom, his parents were standing next to the bed looking at their son. Our Woojin really overcame the fever. Thank you so much, both husband and wife bowed 90 degrees, thank you Jo On-soo. Thank you so much, Jo On-soo is like everyone's idol now, it's okay, I told you I could do it. I knew you would do it. The director smiled and poured tea for Jo On-soo. Mother puts her hand on her son's head. We haven't seen him sleep for a long time, I don't know how to repay this debt. The couple looked at each other and signaled. The husband walked up with an envelope in his hand and said, well then, along with the promised nectar, memory chip and mountain-breaking swordsmanship, I will give you an additional success fee. Jo On-soo smiled from ear to ear but still said no, oh God, you don't have to do that. The husband continued to say, please, I hope you will accept our 1 billion won, even though the amount may still be smaller than what you did for us. The number is so big that it makes Jo On-soo's heart stop. He immediately grabbed her husband's hand, showing a reluctant face, but inside he was extremely happy. God, my heart would hurt so much if I refused it twice, so I guess there was no other way. The city at night was lit up. Two people sat in the car talking. Today we won the jackpot, soldier. Jo On-soo held two rewards in his hand. He said, I know they look great. The director asked Jo On-soo. Are you planning to drink nectar right away? I am, Jo On-soo replied. He continued, and I plan to take a break for a while. The director continued, it was understandable that he definitely didn't want to attract his godfather's attention. Or those who heard about your reward. But what a pity, he lamented, if you refine the nectar and absorb it, it will enhance your mana by a considerable amount. Yes, Jo On-soo replied. He held the bottle of nectar in his hand and thought, if I can purify nectar and drink it, I can upgrade my superhero a lot, instead of having to spend money to cure magic fever. The car stopped in front of the hotel. Before Jo On-soo got out of the car, the director still tried to express his goodwill one last time. Soldier, I will find out if there is any equipment needed to purify nectar, so if possible, think about it a bit and then use it. Jo On-soo also smiled and replied, thank you very much, I will think about it. Minutes later, as soon as he got back to his room, Jo On-soo opened the jar of nectar. I'll drink it now, he thought excitedly. I learned how cruel Soul can be in the deer incident. I can't guarantee that Director Choi won't betray me. Jo On-soo also has his own preparations. Drug addiction. mana absorption, drug dependence. Anyway, I already have the properties that can maximize the effectiveness of nectar. Haha. Without thinking any more, Jo An-soo poured the tube of nectar straight into his mouth. Suddenly dizziness struck, the bottle fell to the ground and broke in half. Jo An-soo feels uncomfortable, it feels like every fiber of his muscles is being removed and put back together. A terrible amount of mana is moving in my body, Jo An-soo holds his head and thinks. Suddenly a fleeting feeling. A terrible ray of light shot out from Jo An-soo's window. He had successfully leveled up, level 2 Superman, Golden Soldier. Jo An-soo proudly looked at the mana flame forming in his hand. He had leveled up, he thought. And by curing God Fever with nectars, I got one of the best level 1 traits in the entire game. In front of Jo An-soo was the announcement of acquiring the Black Fire trait. Black Fire has been added to the list of my traits, along with mountain breaking swordsmanship. I feel so relieved, he silently said, I can focus on practicing these 2 traits and there won't be any problems. Suddenly Jo An-soo's phone notified of a new message. From Director Choi with content that Sir I have something to say. Jo An-soo is confused, it's Director Choi, why did he suddenly text me? Don't care. Jo An-soo turns on his heel, whatever, I'm going to practice. But the constant sound of text messages stops Jo An-soo. You're so upset, you're so noisy, what's so urgent? He sent you quite a few messages. The content was, Mr. Superman, I have many things to discuss, but I think it would be more respectful to contact by text first. I'm sure you will need help, I understand why you are hesitant. Maybe because the people in the cult are against it. It's time to reflect on yourself. When you learn the swordsmanship, your path will appear. Ignore everything and be determined. Of course there will be some people complaining about it. Please reply to this message as soon as you read it. Looking at these messages, Jo An-soo also sprayed glue. What the hell, what is he texting, you wonder? Suddenly Jo An-soo realized the message hidden behind the strange text messages. Run away from Dagger Gang. He hid this message in his messages. Jo An-soo's head gradually recalled memories of the Dagger Gang. They were one of the opposing gangs to the Iron Fist Gang. If Director Choi wanted to betray me, he would call me as usual to buy time, Jo An-soo thought to himself, looking at the messages he sent. He must have been caught first. It seems the information was leaked when he was preparing the equipment. Jo An-soo recalled what Director Choi said before he got off the bus. Jo An-soo pursed his lips. Well, I'll ignore it because I already have the nectar I need, he told himself. Everyone is responsible for their lives in Arcane Soul. In a remote house, painful screams rang out. 3 men are torturing another person tied to a chair. You're strong enough. One of the guys in there spoke up. All night and you still refuse to tell us where that superhero bastard is. The director was tied to a chair, suffering from wounds all over his body. He signed the contract because he trusted me. Director Choi gritted his teeth and said, I won't tell, no matter what you guys do. The man seemed to have run out of patience. He threatened, I don't want to do this, but you haven't given me any other choice. The guy holding the iron axe asked Director Choi, left or right, which hand do you use to eat? Before he could answer, the guy swung the axe, didn't answer, so it would usually be the right hand. Exactly 1 second before the axe fell. The door was broken open. That guy was stunned. What the hell? Behind him, several juniors were lying around. Big brother, they cried weakly, what the hell happened over there? The leader asked loudly. One of the group weakly replied, there is some crazy bastard throwing grenades at our building. In the distance, Jo An-soo held a big gun, aiming straight at the building in front of him. Dagger Gang, you guys picked the wrong person to make trouble with, he said. I can't abandon someone who kept his promise, in this cruel world of Arcane Soul. Okay, now, Jo An-soo said while pulling the trigger. The battle begins, damn people. A warhead flew straight towards the building where Director Choi was detained. A huge explosion erupted, causing them to panic. Where did he shoot from? They asked each other. Find him immediately. Sure enough, they rushed out of the building like cockroaches. Jo An-soo thought triumphantly, even though the outside of the building looked like a normal apartment, I knew all of you were in there. Because this place is the Ice Dagger dungeon that I defeated until I got sick of it. It is a complex dungeon consisting of 6 different buildings. Because the Ice Dagger mission is one of the trial missions, so now I can beat it with my eyes closed. Jo An-soo secretly reminisces about his days playing games when he was in the real world. And now, you gain momentum. Here comes the veteran to complete the mission. Jo An-soo tiptoes and jumps out of the building. Below, members of the Dagger Gang are frantically searching for the attacker. One of them said, the people who attacked us just now were definitely Iron Fists, right? Only they could pull off such crazy feats. That guy said bitterly, once we catch them, let's beat them to the shore and land in the fields. Without paying attention behind him, the trash can was making strange noises. This guy seemed to hear it. He turned to say to his accomplices, "What was that sound just now? Let me go check." The accomplice replied, "Okay, make sure to search thoroughly." He came closer and looked around. What was that? "There's nothing here." Before the words could even escape his mouth, a hand reached out and covered his mouth. Jo On-soo immediately rushed out and knocked him to the ground. Looking at his defeated opponent, he thought with satisfaction, haha, even though I was standing right in front of him, he couldn't even notice. When it comes to infiltration, there is no better combination than pretending to be dead and hiding, he thought happily. Then while those thugs are wandering around outside, I'll go inside their main building. Jo On-soo opened the lid of the trash can, he climbed down, went in through the secret passage. Jo On-soo came to a new space, looked around and said, "Up until now I've tried to avoid fighting as much as possible to penetrate." Nestling against the wall, Jo On-soo added, "The Dagger Gang likes to keep hostages next to their big brother's room on the 5th floor, so there's probably still a way. You gently sneak along the wall, I'll move as stealthily as possible so they can't catch me." Suddenly on the opposite wall, the loudspeaker rang out, "Urgently, urgently, there was an enemy attacking." The enemy had penetrated into the building. "Let's all get equipped and gather at the designated meeting point." Jo On-soo clicked his tongue. "Well, they found out." He looked towards the locked door. "I'm in a dilemma. If I leave here, I'll come across a hallway and it's the most optimal route because there's the main staircase leading to the upper floors, but the problem is," he thought, "when they discover that someone has entered the building, they will place barricades in the hallway as a line of defense." He scratched his head and said thoughtfully, "If I open this door now, they will shoot at me like crazy." Seems like a decision has been made. Jo On-soo grabs the door handle. Without waiting for them to react, he fired bullets like crazy at the enemy. "Hey guys, take the bullets, it's my gift." This action caught the thugs off guard. What about galvanizing machine guns? Bullets were fired continuously at the thugs, causing them to fall one after another. The guys behind reacted immediately, holding guns and shooting at Jo On-soo, cursing at the bastard, "Shoot back." But what they got in response was a grenade. "Explode and throw everything away." Jo On-soo hides behind the door and chuckles, "Who's afraid of the exam? Style. One grenade probably won't be enough, take 3 more in your hand." Threw it at the gangsters and said, "You should eat more. I'm so happy to see you like us. Wait until the firepower is fully developed." Jo On-soo opened the door to check the situation. The defeated thugs were scattered on the ground. Jo On-soo secretly wondered, that's all they all have. Some of them are probably still alive, I can't let my guard down. Suddenly one of them stood up holding a gun and pointed it at Jo On-soo, shouting, "Die." The bullet passed through his collar. He immediately received a notification that he had achieved sensitive properties. Jo On-soo thought to himself, "Good, now I have the sensitive trait I need from this dungeon," he said coldly, "then we're done." "You die," he roared. After dealing with the remaining guys, Jo On-soo struggled to wipe away his sweat. "Now that we're done with the henchmen, I'll go upstairs." As he walked up the stairs, he looked around and thought, maybe I went to the 4th floor safely. But the danger really begins now. Members of the gang will appear on the 4th floor, the casino, right before I go to the 5th floor and the boss's room. Jo On-soo slightly looked over. The empty hallway surprised him. Are they not here? When the casino opened, there was not a single person in sight. They weren't even in the casino. Something is wrong, I have to concentrate, Jo On-soo told himself. At the same time, he also received a notification that he had obtained the concentration attribute. Wait, I can hear something upstairs. Jo On-soo silently listens. Drone. They dropped strange enemies on the ground that radiated blinding light. Damn stun grenade, Jo On-soo cursed. Right behind you, when you weren't paying attention. A shadow of a person holding a knife rushed to attack Jo On-soo. The knife stabbed into his body. That guy smiled triumphantly. He caught you, little mouse. He is the big brother of Ice Dagger, level 2 superhuman assassin. But the blade didn't touch Jo On-soo at all. A mana shield protected him. Who are you talking about catching? Jo On-soo turned his head to look at him coldly. The knife didn't go through. He was surprised. Immediately stepped back. Looking at his ragged appearance, Jo On-soo scoffed. Who are you calling a mouse? You're the one dressed like a mouse, isn't that right? He thought to himself. I didn't expect the big brother to appear on the 4th floor. It was really dangerous just now. This thing didn't happen in the game at all, but I can still read the game pattern. Stun grenades are a linked attack pattern. Activates when the player enters the boss's room. I had to equip the sensitivity and concentration trait before the boss ambushed me, he thought. The leader of the dagger gang is an assassin. I will have to feel where his attack comes from with my 5 senses. The big brother is now very bitter. He curses, "Damn, you blocked my ambush." Jo-An-Soo reached back and grabbed the hilt of the sword. "Don't be surprised already." He pulled out his sword and pointed it at him. And said, "I will make you regret targeting me." Jo-An-Soo finished speaking and rushed forward. Swung his sword and slashed at the assassin. Suddenly he appeared behind you. "You were so slow but you still showed off." The guy scoffed and threw the knife at Jo-An-Soo. He swung his sword and sent the knife flying. In my head, I also silently reassessed my opponent. He was too fast. He was truly an assassin. If I hadn't had the sensitive and focused characteristics just now, I would have been lost. Looking at the dagger falling on the ground, Jo-An-Soo assessed, that guy imbued his dagger with poisonous magic, so just letting it touch me would be enough to send me to the other world. The longer this match lasts, the more disadvantages I will face. The assassin praised Jo-An-Soo a bit. "Oh, you are quite lucky. If you surrender now I will be merciful and only cut off one of your hands," he said. Jo-An-Soo also refused to be weak. He challenged him to stop talking nonsense and jump in. Hearing that, the assassin laughed loudly and sneered, "Looking at your ugly sword-holding appearance, I knew you were a sniper. Compared to someone who can't even assess the situation, your mouth is big, isn't it?" Jo-An-Soo was a bit surprised by the enemy's assessment of him. He said he was a gunner. "That's right, because up until now he used guns all the time, so he probably misjudged me as an armed soldier," Jo-An-Soo thought. But without waiting for him to react, the assassin launched an attack. "I will tear you apart and kill you in the most painful way possible," he shouted to Jo-An-Soo. In his mind he began to calculate, "I only have one chance." He swung his sword high, and that was the moment when he let down his guard. Jo-An-Soo sent a slash down but the assassin dodged it. "Too slow," he laughed mockingly. But right when he was satisfied, Jo-An-Soo rotates the blade. Swiped a horizontal line aiming straight at the assassin. Caught him off guard. What? A sniper uses a combination of attacks, he thought. The hit caused the assassin to fall. Seizing the opportunity, Jo-An-Soo prepared to give him a big move, so that his opponent could clearly die. He revealed, "Sorry, but if I change my characteristics, I'm no longer a gunner," he said, laughing loudly. But a first-class warrior equipped with swordsmanship, Jo-An-Soo uses swordsmanship to break the first mountain. The one who crushes mountains straight down on his opponent. Seriously injured him. "If you let down your guard, you'll lose," Jo-An-Soo scoffed. "This guy still seems unwilling to give up, bastard," he shouted. Holding the dagger, he rushed straight towards Jo-An-Soo and said, "This isn't over yet." Jo-An-Soo was surprised. He was doing the last shot. The assassin has fallen. But at the same time, the poisoned knife was also stuck in Jo-An-Soo's ribs, causing him to fall to his knees. "No, damn it, I let my guard down at the last minute," he blamed himself. Jo-An-Soo pulled out the knife. He felt, already the poison had already followed the blood throughout his body. He had to change his properties. Adjust the equipment attribute table. Jo-An-Soo pulled his injured body forward. "I can bear it, but it hurts too much," he lamented. Outside the window, "Some thugs have returned. Hurry up, an intruder has just appeared around here," they said. "I can't let time pass in vain. I have to get out of this building as soon as possible," he said. On the 5th floor, the dagger lair, the torture room, Director Choi was tied to a chair and trying to struggle. After a while of trying, both the person and the chair fell to the ground. He reached for the stone with the thought that he had to get out of here quickly. Suddenly a pair of shoes appeared. "How exactly did you end up falling into their hands?" It was Jo-An-Soo. "You took off the gag for him, you superhero?" he asked, quite surprised. After untying the Choi director he said, "You make me a bit tired. You came all the way here to save me." Director Choi was moved to tears. Jo-An-Soo patted his shoulder and said, "Let's get out of here first, they're coming." "Yeah, of course." But as soon as Director Choi took a step, he couldn't stand it. "Those bastards, look what they did to him." Immediately he knelt down and said to Director Choi, "Jump on my back." Director Choi quickly refused. "What did you say? No need, I probably have no right to ask for anything more from you." Jo-An-Soo gently said, "It's okay, we're in a hurry, so let's go to a safe place first. Director Choi could only listen, well, just this once, thank you. Being carried on Jo On-soo's back, the director kept apologizing. Gosh, I'm sorry about this. Even though he was subjected to such brutal torture, he still maintained his loyalty, Jo On-soo thought. I thought this arcane soul world was hell on earth, but it also gave people a surprisingly touching feeling. At Director Choi's office, Jo On-soo gulped down a bunch of recovery medicine. This will help you gain additional anti-poison properties, he said with satisfaction. Drinking the recovery medicine flushed out all the poison. Director Choi immediately brought out dozens more cans of medicine and generously said, if you need more, feel free to take them. Jo On-soo also happily replied, okay, this is enough. Because I already have that trait, he thought happily. Director Choi said with a sad face to Jo On-soo, by the way, I really don't know how to apologize enough. It seems like at that time when I was preparing the elixir for us, the information leaked out. I shouldn't have trusted my staff like that. Jo On-soo doesn't blame him. It's okay, I already drank the elixir anyway. This information made Director Choi extremely surprised. Did you already drink the elixir? Jo On-soo waved his hand and explained, if I didn't drink at that time, I wouldn't have been able to save you, Director. The director shouted in pain, no way, just now you had to drink elixir to save me. Looking at the director like that, Jo On-soo didn't want to explain further. It's not his fault, but okay, I'll let him think whatever he wants. Suddenly someone was knocking on the door. Director Choi was tense. What, did the Dagger Gang ever come here? What should we do? Jo On-soo on the other hand is quite calm. He said to Director Choi, it looks like we have some guests, so please welcome them. It seemed like he had predicted it, so he opened the saw comfortably. Outside the door, Kim Iron Fist and his juniors are waiting. Jo On-soo calmly greeted, he's here. I didn't expect you to destroy the Dagger Gang. I knew from before that you were not an ordinary guy, Kim said, so why did you call me here? Jo On-soo was quiet, he had his own calculations in mind. Because it's time for me to receive the reward for completing the difficult task. The Iron Fist Gang and the Dagger Gang are rivals, fighting for control of the Silum area. In the game, the tutorial requires the player to help the Iron Fist Gang destroy the Dagger Gang. The Iron Fist Gang will give many rewards for defeating the Dagger Gang, Jo On-soo calculates. Kim Tae-Huyen asked Jo On-soo, so are you planning to start a new organization or something? He immediately shook his head, bowed, running an organization is not my style. The reason I called you here today is to tell you. You may have had the area held by the Dagger all this time. Kim Tae-Huyen was startled and asked, what? Jo On-soo continued, I prefer to go alone, and I have no intention of entering the underworld, so this is to repay the debt from last time. Kim Tae-Huyen considered, it doesn't cost anything to accept your offer, but it seems a bit excessive compared to the debt you owed me last time. Jo On-soo smiled and replied, it seems we understand each other now. Because thanks to me, you now own the Silum area, please grant me a wish. Kim was also surprised by Jo On-soo's proposal. He asked, a wish? Besides, if I grant you a wish, what will you wish for? Tell me first. Jo On-soo thought happily, of course, it would be something everyone in Seoul would want. Just give me a house. Jo On-soo said his wish, happily thinking, it's time to go home. A wish? So what is that wish? Let's talk a bit, Kim Tae-Huyen said to Jo On-soo. Of course, that must be something everyone in Seoul wants to have, Jo On-soo thought. Just give me the house. Jo On-soo couldn't hide his excitement. It's time to get a house, he thought happily. You said it was a house, Kim asked again. Jo On-soo immediately replied, since I started working in this humid world, I realized that I should have a place to live so that it can be a little more fun. All of a sudden you're playing tricks, it hurts, my stomach was injured when I fought with the Dagger Gang, I'm sorry, is it painful? The two of you threw each other around and acted in front of the Golden Iron Fist. He cleared his throat and said, well, that's fine, after all, you've already escaped those dagger wielders, let's deal. Looking at Jo On-soo, he calmly said on the outside, he's so straightforward, I like that, but inside he was extremely happy, so great. He asked further, so what kind of house do you want, a luxury villa or simply an apartment? None of the above, Jo On-soo denied, I need a house in a place with less sex, good security as well as soundproofing, and also a practice area in the basement, he added. Kim Tae-Huyen pondered, a house in a less populated area with a practice area in the basement. It seems like Jo On-soo has his own ideas, say it. Let's talk about the house I'm thinking about. There's a house I know like that. It is a house on the outskirts of Silum, along the Jeonnubong range. Kim Tiat Huyen said. It seems he was right about what Joansu needed, a house located on the edge of the Jianyubong range, he thought. That's a house that couldn't be more suitable to become the first base for a player of Arcane Soul. Joansu is now comfortably lying under the sun umbrella in his dream house, so this is the tingling feeling of joy when he just found a place to settle down. I really like the smell of this air mixed with a bit of relaxation, he said with satisfaction. The view from here is also beautiful. Truly a house with no sauce. Thinking back to the days when I first entered this world, Joansu was nostalgic. At first when I fell into Arcane Soul, I didn't even know what was going on. The hospital bill cost about 20 million won. But now I have a magnificent house like a mansion, he said with satisfaction. Not only that, but I also have financial support from the #1 security organization in the world, and Director Choi and Joansu laughed loudly. At this rate, even if I was hospitalized for a whole year, I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But he immediately regained his spirit. But this is Arcane Soul, you can't rest on your laurels. Once the game's plot progresses further, evil bastards like the saints of the priestly temple will appear and destroy the city. Joansu picked up the pickaxe. He said, so now it's time to find the real reason for choosing this house. Joansu goes to the underground practice room. He tapped on the wall like he was looking for something. It was probably around here somewhere, he said. Let's get to work. Joansu slashed straight at the wall broke. Joansu was surprised by his strength. He said triumphantly, it seems like his trade is working, this will probably be completed sooner than expected he. Joansu continuously digs deep into the soil behind the wall. He lamented, faster than expected at the end of the song, I didn't know it was this deep. But thinking about the results, he encouraged himself to try harder, not to give up. Come out and show yourself, the final slash. What he was looking for appeared, a stream of clear water sprayed straight up from underground. Joansu shouted, there it is. He immediately opened his mouth to catch the delicious drops of water. A stream of energy began to surround his body. The taste is so delicious, Joansu praises it. I can feel my body slowly recovering, so is this the effect of the mana spring? Joansu looked at his hand that was surrounded by blue energy and said. A spring overflowing with mana, a true mana spring. Even characters whose vitality has reached 0 can recover quickly when immersed in a mana stream. And even the majority of the negative effects disappeared. What a great medical ability, Joansu thought. Where mana springs can be accessed for free like this. It's true that there is no place better than the house near the Jianyubong range, the first base of the Iron Fist state. It turns out that when choosing this house, Joansu had his own calculations. I don't know when a large bathtub was installed next to the source of the mana spring. Joansu floats in the bathtub enjoying the fruits of his hard work. This place is so invigorating that its effects can be easily seen. Mana fountain is a great therapy to practice. Joansu picks up the sword. If you have it, you can practice to the best of your ability, then go in and soak for a bit, then practice again and it's still great, pull out your sword. He started practicing like crazy. Now it's time for the only guy who has been climbing the ranks but has super VIP pro performance to practice. Time flies so fast. Joansu is still in the practice room. I locked myself in this practice room for 2 weeks already, Joansu thought. I can activate the black fire stably. A black flame surrounds Joansu's body. He swung his sword, emitting powerful energy. Demonstrating mountain-breaking swordsmanship. 1 form, Mountain Crusher. Swordsmanship destroys mountains, divides mountains and rivers. And swordsmanship destroys the mountain of 3 consciousnesses, penetrates the heart of the mountain. Joansu is proud of the results of his training. Good, now I can use swordsmanship to destroy mountains in parallel with black fire. Besides that, there are also extremely useful properties that I get while practicing. Now that training is over, there's only one important thing left to do, Joansu calculates, the ability to train mana that I can't possess through training. Joansu thought about the past. If I had refined the elixir before drinking it, I would have probably achieved level 3 Superman. But I'm only level 2 now, so I don't have much mana in me right now, he thought. Joansu told himself, in order to fully absorb the mana of the elixir and reach level 3, I need the ability to train mana. Of course, it's not easy to get, but having it is worth twice as much. At a store, the boss asked Joansu again, do you really want to buy it? That thing has been lying around for almost 10 years, I want to buy it, Joansu said firmly. It turns out that when he was alive, Joansu bought the skill to train mana while playing games. Lying on the bed he said proudly, I'm probably the only one who knows that the mana training skill can be bought at that old store hee. Back to reality, Jo-An-Soo decided, now let's go to Shinwon commercial area to go to that antique store, Jo-An-Soo said excitedly. It's time to level up. In the blink of an eye, Jo-An-Soo appeared in front of the store. What is this? He looked suspiciously at the locked door. Why was it closed? Also, the door is locked with mana so no one can get in. Look at the sign that says, closed until the Shinwon market situation stabilizes again. Jo-An-Soo said suspiciously, Shinwon commercial area is where the most stores in the area are, there is no reason for this place to close. In the game, this place is open 24/7, why is it closed now, you wonder, what's next? Looking around, the vast majority of other stores are also closed like this one. The entire commercial area is absent. Making Jo-An-Soo shy, he said, is the world of Arcane Soul different from what I know? The dark market had only one lighted shop. Jo-An-Soo walked over and asked the owner who was sitting thoughtfully in front of the door, is the market situation not so good these days? Even the owner of a store that hasn't closed yet still has to struggle, he thought. He replied uncomfortably, looking but I can't see, kid, I'm tired to death, with a bunch of thugs coming to fight all day long, there won't be any customers willing to come. Jo-An-Soo wondered, thugs, I thought this place was managed by the Golden Iron Gang. He waved his hand in annoyance and said, ha, the Golden Iron Fist Gang fart, ever since the Dagger Gang was purged, all kinds of gangs are fighting with each other all day long, the Golden Iron Fist Gang, the Poison Gang and even the Naked Gang. Jo-An-Soo was suspicious, the gangs were causing trouble with each other, he thought to himself, that's how it is. In the original game's plot, the Iron Fist Gang personally defeated the Dagger Gang, and declared sovereignty over their territory. Therefore, Shinwon Market naturally falls under the management of Kim Tiat-Huyen. But this time, I was the one dealing with the Dagger Gang, so this market became a robbery battlefield for the remaining gangs. Jo-An-Soo has a headache thinking, what should he do? Suddenly there was a shout, look at these idiots, quickly chase them out, they're coming again. Jo-An-Soo decided, I need to go check on those thugs first. Two groups of people are fighting. One side said, don't you guys understand, I told you that this intersection is the territory of the Poison Band, understand? Go away, you guys, go back to your slums. The leader raised her middle finger, laughed and shouted at the Iron Fists, that's the gang, the underboss of the Poison Gang, N-rank character, level 2 superhuman. Suddenly another group came, the leader said, ahem, what are you guys doing in our area? A group of naked men walked forward. Damn it, the perverts are here, Kwang Tiat-Tu said in disgust. The fat leader stepped up to explain, this intersection is under the management of the Naked Gang, this guy is the exhibitionist, the bottom boss of the Naked Gang, a rank N superhuman level 2 character. Kwang Hyat-Tu of course refused, she objected, stop talking nonsense and go away, the fat guy refused, you guys still want to continue this intrusive behavior. The juniors of the Iron Fist Gang witnessed this scene and thought to themselves, you crazy people, we have to get out of here quickly. Suddenly Jo-An-Soo walked up and said, what a mess, the junior recognized him, ha, he's the superhuman who wiped out the Dagger Gang. What are you doing, quickly get up and work, you help him up, what, you mean? Before I could understand anything, I saw Jo-An-Soo waving his hand, hey you pig-brain thugs, stop causing trouble and gather here, wait what are you doing, the junior asked in panic. Calm down I'm helping you, Jo-An-Soo reassured him, he thought, to help the market return to normal, I need to establish a clear hierarchy, it's best to help the Iron Fist. The boss below the potion side said happily, oh look what we have, but who the hell dares to give me orders? Ahem he means he wants to offer an offering, the bottom boss of the Naked Gang seems more polite, Jo-An-Soo evaluates the two people, these two people are both level 2 superhumans. If I use all my strength, I can still win, but there's no need to involve the merchants, that's all. I have to show them my strength first he, without saying much, Jo-An-Soo started showing off his strength. Both seemed to realize, what, mountain-breaking swordsmanship and this divine feeling that, could it be, he was the superhuman who single-handedly purged the entire gang of daggers. Jo-An-Soo threatened, that's right, this time I'll be generous, I want to make a request that you guys have no right to refuse, instead of complicating the matter, let's settle it with a duel, the winner will gain control of the market, what do you think the conditions are fair? The poison girl immediately reacted, do you think I'm so stupid to agree to a duel with a warrior? Don't worry, Jo-An-Soo said, we will fight according to the strength that you are most confident in. After a period of silence, people gathered to do something. Jo On-soo and the fat guy stood facing each other. He asked him, "So your special ability is mind control? If I can resist, I win," the fat guy said with a blush, making the poison band nauseous. He, it's an honor to have a handsome guy like this who knows about him. He suggested, "How about we forget this meaningless war? You can join the original goddess cult with us," Jo On-soo said in disgust. Disgusted, "Why do I have to join your gang?" Brainstorm, your beliefs are not even among the 7 seconds rate beliefs, they are clearly an anonymous sect. Why do I have to join a fake cult that isn't even on the list of Westphalia? Jo On-soo's insults made the fat guy completely angry. "What an infidel, I will make you correct that thinking with the love and mercy of the goddess. Quickly kneel before me, and I will grant you the opportunity to meet the goddess." He threw the move at Jo On-soo. He thought to himself, the priest-level mind control properties are really strong. I want to kneel down immediately. Jo On-soo stepped up and threw an hook to the jaw, causing the fat guy to vomit blood. Fell to the ground. "Sorry bro." Jo On-soo thought to himself, but even if you're a goddess, you can't be rude to me. Because he used the anti-magic power feature, immediately 2 juniors stepped forward to shield the fat guy. "Your Highness was showing off, are you okay? Please retreat for now." "It's your turn," Jo On-soo said. Kwang Tiat-tu replied, "Oh, you're not suitable either. But let me say first, the poison gang is on a different level than those perverts just now." Jo On-soo also refuses to be weak. "It's not certain, you have to try to know. Your special ability is mixing poison, right? Give me the most terrible thing you have and I will drink it." "Okay, if you want to die like that, I'll help," she said confidently. Her Ice Iron Fist juniors immediately stepped forward to stop him. "Hey, I know you're very strong, but drinking their poison is suicide." Jo On-soo reassured, "Don't worry, I have enough confidence." "Drink it." She gave Jo On-soo a bottle of poison. "If you can stand it then you win, if you die then I win." Jo On-soo thought, as expected she gave me Picnic Co. This is the most painful poison out of all they have. "Oh my god, the smell is so bad, if I don't die, I'll be ready to be punched," he said. "Don't dream of asking for the antidote after taking it," she said smilingly. Tilting his head back to take a drink, Jo On-soo replied, "Sorry but that's not the case, honey." Suddenly a pain appeared and Jo On-soo collapsed. "Damn it," he thought, feeling like his flesh and blood were boiling. "I felt it right away," she asked. "If you beg for your life by barking like a dog, maybe I'll consider helping." Jo On-soo thought tremblingly, "I need to concentrate. This poison is made by mixing many special drugs, so the poison cannot be neutralized." He thought painfully, "I have to endure the most damage with healing properties. And find ways to control the poison." Jo On-soo forced the poison into his hand, surprising the poison lady. He concentrated the poison on his arm, she said. At the same time Jo On-soo received the poison resistance property. He thought, thanks to possessing resistance, now I can control the poison with mana. The poison was pressed into the palm of Jo On-soo's hand. "The last thing to do is," he said. Then he swung his sword and slashed his palm. The poison immediately poured out. Everyone was stunned. "Man," he concentrated the toxin on his arm to get rid of it. "No way, she doesn't believe it." Jo On-soo scoffed, "Phew, that potion was really bad, now it's my turn." Since when did he, Jo On-soo, hold her hand? He squeezed his middle finger hard. When she released it, it was broken. She fell on the ground in pain. Her juniors were screaming, "Big sister. You think you can get away after doing that to me?" she screamed in pain. "Stop talking like some typical loser, go away," Jo On-soo told her. "You bastard." She's bitter. "Damn, I'll miss this side. My juniors have to stop me. Let's go first, big sister." "We won," said a member of the Iron Fist clan. We all happily celebrated. "Ha ha, you deserve it, you bastards. Cheers to Soldier Kim." Victory was obvious, he thought. Now was the real issue. The shop owners asked each other suspiciously, "Bing Kim Tiat Hu Yen has won. I don't know how they will boss us around." Jo On-soo reminded, "Hey, you have to report that I'm the one who did everything." The other guy said fluently, "Of course sir, thank you very much." "There is one thing that Bang Kim Tiat Hu Yen must remember in this market," Jo On-soo advised. "Yes, what is it, please tell me." "The security price of this market is only half the price of the dagger used." The junior was shocked. "If that's the case then we won't make a profit." "Are you arguing?" Jo On-soo threatened. "No, of course not. I think our big brother will understand." The owners were happy to hear that. "Wow, half the protection fee, he is the hero of Shinwon Market," Jo On-soo happily thought. This is the reason why I've been holding on to trouble all this time, ahaha. The owners thank you profusely. Thank you very much. No, I just do what needs to be done, just remember to give me a discount later, hee. Jo An-soo is secretly calculating, Shinwon market is clearly a bargain, moreover. It also increases the popularity value of the merchant NPCs, they respond to you, of course, anytime we will give you an 80% discount. The antique store that Jo An-soo wanted to visit has reopened. Hello Superman. The owner warmly welcomed you. I had heard a lot about you from other merchants, you were the one who saved Shinwon market. Ha, I just did what I should do. He scratched his head and said, don't be shy, those gangsters cause a lot of trouble. Look, I had to close the shop because I got into a fight and broke my arm. The boss pointed at the bandaged arm and said, oh no, is it okay now? Jo An-soo asked. He replied, I was treated with Qigong, fortunately it was effective, if it weren't for the therapist, I would still be stuck in the hospital. Jo An-soo was surprised, he asked, is there a Qigong doctor in Shillem? The boss generously replied, yes, do you need me to introduce him? He is very good, I appreciate it, but first I need to buy a few things, you get straight to the point. Ah, of course, feel free to watch, we have everything besides the things we don't have, the boss said humorously. There are a lot of quality items here, but can I see the items down there? Jo An-soo's question surprised the boss, how did you know? I have my own way, Jo An-soo silently said in his mind, don't underestimate a game addict with 10,000 hours of play like me, are there any secrets that I don't know? In a secret room in the shop. The boss said to Jo An-soo, I usually rarely let first-time customers come to see, but for your sake I will break the rule. Jo An-soo smiled, thank you very much, hee. Opening the door, the boss introduced, this is a collection of magical products, you can feel free to look at it. Wonderful, Jo An-soo exclaimed when he saw the treasure in front of him. I had a lot of unique items when I was still playing games, he thought. But above all, the ancient god's flute, this thing seals the magic cultivation technique, this is a unique antique. His eyes lit up, now that he had a top value item in hand, it was time to make things useful. He placed the selected items in front of the boss and said, these are the items I will get today. The boss complimented Jo An-soo, wow, as expected, you have good eyes. 5 colored diamonds, magic glasses, magic gloves and the ancient god's flute are all rare items. He quoted the price, yours was 2 billion won, which made Jo An-soo gasp, oh my god, 2 billion. The boss added, that's the price for strangers, but since you're the guardian angel of this market, I can get a more reasonable price, yours is 500 million won, Jo An-soo sighed. He said, Chunbok, you almost scared me, here, he gave the money to the boss, secretly happy in his head, 80% discount from NPC because of the high favorability, that's great. Now all I need to do is find a priest-type superhuman who can unseal this item, and of course I have a clue as to where I can find that person. He was secretly happy. He asked the boss, by the way, can I get the address of the Qigong therapist? The sun gradually sets. Jo An-soo went to a house and knocked on the door, was there anyone? Looks like he went out, Jo An-soo put his face to listen and concluded. Suddenly the door opened, a man asked, what do you need so early in the morning? Jo An-soo silently evaluates that person, white hair and pale face, okay, this is the person I'm looking for. He joked, it's afternoon, do you call this early morning? The young man replied, it's true for me, what brings you here? Jo An-soo replied, well I heard your treatment method is very good. He immediately became more welcoming, oh so you're a customer, I thought you were some damn thugs, excuse me, please come in. He pointed to a bed, here you can lie down, where are you injured? Jo An-soo looked around the room silently assessing, considering that this statue was here, it seemed like he was right. The young man asked Jo An-soo, what are you doing? You can lie down on that bed. Well actually, he replied. I didn't come here to cure illness, sorry, the words made the young man confused. I came here to ask you to remove the seal on this thing. Jo An-soo pulled out a flute from his pocket and gave it to the therapist. Remove the seal, he was bewildered. I'm just a Qigong therapist, it seems like a holy seal, you can go to a temple to ask them. He waved his hand and said, no, because such places would ask for a very high price and I might have my items taken away, Jo An-soo explained. If you can unseal this item, I will give you 100 million won, Priest Kim, Jo An-soo offers. He was quite surprised. You know my name, of course, Jo An-soo replied. Priest Kim is the third guide character of Arcane Soul. He is a priest of a forgotten religion, serving a god who disappeared 3,000 years ago. He is one of the few very pure and honest characters in the game. With many delinquent priests and arcane soul, it's hard to find someone with such a warm heart. In other words, I can take advantage of him, Jo An-soo silently calculated. How do you know that? Priest Kim stammered and asked. Jo An-soo begged, I will keep it a secret, so please help me. He seemed a bit hesitant, but I think this is not an easy task. After thinking about it, Priest Kim still agreed. Okay, I'll try. Jo An-soo was secretly happy, as expected from a good person. The two of them sat down on the ground. Priest Kim uses magic to peel off the outer layer of the flute. Oh, it worked, he was surprised. The seal is easily removed. The flute appears. The ancient god's flute item can get the Einherjar cultivation technique. Does it really work? Priest Kim asked. Jo An-soo lavished praise on you. Wow, as expected, your skills are amazing. The priest also realized, oh my god, is this a magic cultivation technique? Yes, thank you very much, Jo An-soo replied. Jo An-soo brought the flute to his mouth to blow and feel. The amount of magic power wasted on my body before. Now being absorbed, Jo An-soo feels. The effect was truly amazing. He received a notification. You had received the Einherjar cultivation technique. It was as if the calm currents of the Nordic Sea had entered your body. After about 2 weeks I will be able to absorb all this energy and reach level 3 Superman, Jo An-soo silently calculated. The Kim Hour priest looked at him with admiring eyes. Wow, this is the first time I have seen a super warrior using magic cultivation techniques. Jo An-soo tiredly sat down on the bed and replied, well, that's not common sense that you often see. Oh, you must be very tired. You can lie here and rest, Priest Kim kindly said to Jo An-soo. You're not polite either. Too much information is pouring into my brain. I'm too tired. Okay, then I'll ask you to take care of me for a while. The priest happily replied, yes, feel free. You pay me a lot of money so you can stay here as long as you want. Thank you. Jo An-soo thought to himself, he is a good person, just like I knew in the game. It's really good to find a pastor you can trust. It will be beneficial for you in the long run. Jo An-soo took a long nap and was woken up by a strange noise. What was that noise? When he opened his eyes, he saw the priest pouring gasoline into his money bag. What are you doing? Jo An-soo wondered. I only saw Priest Kim silently reciting the incantation. Oh forgotten God, please accept a believer's offering and be revived. He held the lighter in his hand and dropped it straight into his money bag. Making Jo An-soo stunned. What the hell? What's going on? Kim priest stood in front of the money bag, held up the lighter and recited the spell. O forgotten Lord, accept the disciples' offerings and be reborn. Before the lighter fell, Jo An-soo rushed to catch it. He was crazy. Jo An-soo knocked the priest to the floor and shouted, damn you, what the hell do you think you are doing? The two argued loudly. Is this any of your business? What are you planning to burn for the offering? I have to burn all the money and offer it to the god, he shouted. Jo An-soo was stunned. What, money as an offering? Priest Kim explained, because our god only accepts cash and that's the only way to receive power. Jo An-soo sprayed glue. That's it, this must be the time when you still believe in God, right? Now it's the glue needle priest's turn. Sorry, what do you mean? Jo An-soo thought to himself, the god that the Kim Sutra worshipped died 3,000 years ago. Even in the game, this religion had almost no power, until the Kim priest revived the god and had a practice method. Though I don't think he even knows how to serve his god properly, Jo An-soo thought speechlessly. What's the matter with him? Your way is wrong, Jo An-soo said helplessly. You shouldn't burn money like that, you should burn and evaporate with gold. Priest Kim doesn't seem to believe it. Yellow, I mean it sounds like the words of a heretic, but you've never tried it before, right? Jo An-soo retorted. The priest immediately denied, don't talk nonsense like that, our church has created and practiced for thousands of years. Jo An-soo also argued back right away, but there must be a reason why your god hasn't been revived yet, don't you think? The words pierced the priest's heart. It hurts so much. Jo An-soo continued, it's very difficult to burn gold right now, so I have an idea, another way. In other words, Priest Kim asked doubtfully. That's right, since you helped me with magic cultivation techniques, let me help you in return, priest, Jo An-soo said with a wink. A pot of gold boiling on the stove. Priest Kim was a bit skeptical. I thought I really shouldn't do this, stop here, but Jo An-soo insisted, believe me, when you drink gold, your divine power will increase a lot. Concentrate and feel if your god will respond. The golden priest wavered. He said, really, if you are so assertive, I will believe it this time. Jo An-soo watched him drink the entire golden cup. Immediately a source of power surged around the Kim priest. "How's it going?" Jo-on-soo asked. Priest Kim exclaimed, "Oh my god. It's true, this is much more effective than burning millions of one." Jo-on-soo shared more, "The growth will be faster if you maintain this method." The priest looked at Jo-on-soo with sparkling eyes. "I don't know how to repay you for this valuable information." Remembering something, the priest said, "Oh right. Here for him." He pulled out a pendant. "Oh, this necklace is," Jo-on-soo recognized, "it is a sacred object with healing properties." Priest Kim said, "I believe my god will be happy to know you have this item." Jo-on-soo said, "On the surface, I mean since you gave it to me I shouldn't refuse. On the inside I was happy. This deal is more beneficial than I thought he. Come to think of it, Priest Kim's congregation actually gave out a lot of good quests." Jo-on-soo held Priest Kim's hand. "Priest, do you mind if I pray to your god?" "Sorry." Priest Kim is a bit confused. "I want to repay you. I say so on the outside but in my heart Jo-on-soo secretly thinks that Kim priest you are mine now ha." At Jo-on-soo's home. "A yellow one, please stop." Priest Kim said, "I feel like my whole body is turning gold." Priest Kim is already fed up. Behind you, Jo-on-soo is full of energy, "but you have to consume more he. The words made the priest panic. "I will be poisoned by magic power if I increase my magic power like that in such a short time." Jo-on-soo innocently asked with sparkling eyes, "Who, you?" "I guarantee that won't happen, so please continue." Jo-on-soo squeezed Priest Kim's mouth and poured the gold straight into his mouth, thinking to himself, "Don't worry, the 4 guide NPCs all have their own unique characteristics. If the warrior has a strong body, the priest cannot be poisoned by magic power, that helps him grow very fast, so that's why Jo-on-soo has no qualms about forcing the priest to gulp down so much liquid gold." After downing the entire bottle of liquid gold, Jo-on-soo happily said, "Great, you've accomplished today's goal," and Priest Kim covered his mouth as if he wanted to vomit. The effort was not wasted, the golden priest's magic power grew rapidly. Soon you awakened. "I can't believe I reached level 3, this is the level where I can even become an apostle," Priest Kim said. "Great," Jo-on-soo said happily, "at this rate, soon you can become God's apostle." Priest Kim humbly replied, "I'm still lacking to achieve that, but Jo-on-soo rates you very highly. I think you have enough experience to become an apostle," Jo-on-soo said. Anyway, since he has now reached level 3, he needs to convene a regional council to be officially recognized as a bishop. Jo-on-soo replaced Priest Kim to calculate. Priest Kim scratched his head sheepishly and replied, "Yes, I had to do that. I was able to develop very quickly, all thanks to you. I will never forget this kindness." Jo-on-soo started to discuss, "Don't just say I like to help others, but in my heart I think differently. Ha, you better not forget. Become a bishop in the shortest time and bring me the relic from the congregation's warehouse." Priest Kim asked Jo-on-soo, "By the way, can I ask you one more favor?" "What is it?" "I'm planning to convene a regional council but it's a bit too overwhelming to go by myself. Can you be a bodyguard during the meeting? The other bishops will be there too," Priest Kim asked cautiously. Jo-on-soo without hesitation agreed immediately, "Sure, I can do it, don't worry." Jo-on-soo silently calculated, now that he has completed his task of developing him, it's time to do mine he. The next day, a regional council was opened. The other bishops sent their wishes to Priest Kim. "Priest Kim, you have reached level 3, right? That's impressive, very good." The compliment made Priest Kim embarrassed. "Thank you everyone," he said. Jo-on-soo didn't seem very satisfied. The scale was a bit small with only this many people attending the meeting, he thought. Suddenly a group of people appeared at the door. One of them spoke up, "A pitiful scene. The bishop has arrived." Everyone respectfully greets the newly arrived old man, who is the priest of the congregation. "Who gave you the right to organize a regional council, Priest Kim?" he questioned loudly. Priest Kim weakly objected, "Then every priest in the congregation has the right to organize a council." Before he could finish speaking, the old priest shouted, "That only applies to ordinary priests, it will be different for an apostate." The label shocked the golden priest. An apostate, he stammered and asked. His level had increased by 3 in just 3 months, there was no way he could level up that quickly with normal methods. "You must have betrayed your brother to receive greater divine power," he accused. Priest Kim immediately objected, "That's nonsense, I just found a great way to level up, that's all." He didn't listen, he shouted, "Shut up, I didn't listen to your explanation. Arrest him immediately," he ordered. Jo-on-soo immediately stepped forward and jokingly said, "Come on, don't scare children like that, who are you?" "His bodyguard," Jo-on-soo replied. "This is our congregation's business, outsiders should not interfere," the old man shouted. Jo On-soo said without paying attention, I said I'm a bodyguard, I'm not an outsider, talk more sensibly, old man. Priest Kim explained, please believe me, but these people don't understand. What? Absorb this heretic's gold, how dare you commit such a crime and think you will get away with it? Priest Kim Tangerine frantically explained, this is not heresy, our God has allowed this. The old man shouted angrily, shut up heretic, I will personally purify you and offer it to the gods. He casts a spell, repent before the eternal fire. But the painful scene did not happen. In front of Priest Kim and Jo On-soo was a shield. Why you attacked without warning like that? What a blasphemy, old man, he scoffed. You blocked my magic, are you sure you want to fight against the candidate for apostle? Jo On-soo asked him, he immediately went crazy, stop rambling, how do you think a heretic can become an apostle? Priest Kim was also bewildered, Superman, I'm not sure why you called me a candidate. Jo On-soo reassured, don't worry, here, eat it and pray, sorry, Priest Kim was confused. The old man behind is still shouting, if you don't want to be burned by me like that guy, move to the sides. Jo On-soo asked him, if Priest Kim can prove that he is an apostle, what do you think? He was confused, what? After eating the golden pill and praying, the golden priest's body radiated a bright golden light. The old man said in panic, this is from the apostle. Jo On-soo thought happily, look closely, you're surprised, this is the reason I didn't turn Priest Kim into an apostle yesterday. That useless old man, it's impossible, he muttered, not only that, he's also a main villain who radiates pure evil, I should get rid of him right here. Jo On-soo thought, the condition for the golden priest to awaken his apostle characteristics is that he must swallow a golden foreign object from another sect. While being accused of blasphemy by the bishop, it would not be difficult to turn the Kim priest into an apostle. Priest Kim opened his eyes, he gently said, oh my lord. Jo On-soo pointed his sword at the old man and said, this is the apostle. Now it's time to teach those blasphemers a lesson. Jo On-soo pointed his sword at the people and said, now that the apostate apostles have appeared, it's time to teach these blasphemers a lesson. He asked Priest Kim, hey priest, can I ask your God something? Yes, the priest replied, how should I punish those bastards who are willing to kill fellow teachers out of jealousy? Jo On-soo added with a smirk. And he did not simply do this but also did many other evil things. The old man was surprised, how do you know this? It seemed the god had the answer. Priest Kim conveyed that, he said, liquidate the gate. After finishing speaking, Jo On-soo rushed forward, swung his sword and placed it on the criminal's neck. This is God's word so I can't help but follow it, right? He asked the old man, only able to utter the word you. The old man was killed by a slash across the neck. Everyone there was excited at this scene. And Jo On-soo was secretly proud, he just destroyed the bad guy before he caused trouble later. Priest Kim only now reacted, but he is still the bishop of our church. Jo On-soo waved his hand, you don't need to pity him, he deserved that consequence, now what do I tell you to do next? Jo On-soo asked. Day refers to the Levant, where the first ecclesiastical council was established and gold was offered to him there, Priest Kim conveyed. Jo On-soo heard that and was immediately pleased, see, I said gold was the right choice, go there and expand your influence. In his mind, he was secretly pleased, and then he would repay me for what I did for him today, ha. Priest Kim immediately bowed his head in, thanks, yes soldier, I don't know how to repay you. Well before you go, I should give you a gift from our warehouse. Hearing that, Jo On-soo immediately refused, oh he doesn't need it, but in his head he shouted, yes this is exactly what I want. Evening at Jo On-soo's house. He was contemplating the gift he received, this reward was really worthy for supporting the priest, he gave me many valuable items, Jo On-soo smiled happily. He hugged the sword and said, finally my first holy sword, it's worth billions, and what not? A holy statue that brought an aura of holy power to its surroundings. Sanctuary filled with holy magic is a skill that turns a specific area into a safe zone depending on the owner's wishes. The surrounding house is now surrounded by a solid barrier, if an enemy enters, it will emit repelling or suppressing energy, Jo On-soo thought. In other words, Jo On-soo swung his sword and practiced like crazy, he thought, I don't need to worry about being ambushed while practicing anymore. Jo On-soo brandished his holy sword and said, now let's play with the new stuff. In an empty lot, Jo On-soo is surrounded by zombies. Mr. Superman, I want to talk. The sound is coming from the corpses. What are these guys talking about? Jo On-soo secretly wondered. Oh I see, this guy talks through the zombies' megaphone. The person who wants to talk to me is probably the guy who summoned these zombies, he silently speculated. That guy said to Jo On-soo, I want to ask you something, Why did you destroy our territory? Jo An-soo asked curiously, what is your territory? He thought to himself, calling a contaminated facility their territory. Oh, I see, the Protection Association. On the outside they are a charity organization specializing in cleaning up contaminated magical energy, but in reality they are one of the most notorious villain organizations in Arcane Soul. Cleaning up magical contamination was just an act of concealment. Because of his nature, he is willing to do any dirty deed to expand his power. They must also be behind this incident, Jo An-soo secretly speculated. They create situations where the government, because of their power and influence, has nothing to do but ask for help. Meanwhile, they use these incidents as an excuse to fire officials who are hostile towards them. The mysterious guy said to Jo An-soo, if there is no reason to continue this battle, let me give you a suggestion. You are a talented person, why don't you join the Protection Association, he suggested. However, Jo An-soo was not very interested in this invitation. He replied, ha ha, joining the organization that causes attacks by mutant creatures in the landfill. The other guy continued speaking, I'm serious, with your skills, you could be in the top group of the association. Forget it, Jo An-soo said. He raised his middle finger to him, hearing the name of the guild already doesn't suit me, it's not cool at all. The mysterious guy seemed to be a little amused by Jo An-soo's attitude. He smiled evilly and said, it seems you don't know your place, okay if you don't want to join. Then you can join after becoming a zombie warrior. After finishing speaking, a series of zombies rushed up to attack Jo An-soo. You fired an explosive bullet that blew these guys apart and said calm down, my friend. However, the corpses were not destroyed after the explosion just now. Hot weapons have no effect on these undead, he silently calculated, in this case. He pulled out the holy sword and said, the holy light attribute will be very effective when confronting dark attribute monsters. The action surprised the mysterious man. Wait, what? What a sword, you're not a gunner. When he realized it was too late, Jo An-soo swung his sword and cut the monster in half. Said provocatively, just say less, kid, I will find you soon. Jo An-soo continuously slashes monsters. Thanks to its superior attributes, the fight isn't that difficult, but I feel like there are too many of them. Jo An-soo silently calculates, I have to change my strategy. With specialized characteristics that increase my endurance, plus special characteristics of ancient artifacts, I will be able to activate 9 characteristics, along with the inherent characteristics. Jo An-soo also receives healing properties from necklaces, holy swords from swords and magic gloves from gloves. This should be enough. I'm coming, you rush up. Swung a slash towards the monsters. Jo An-soo takes a bit of effort. Overall it's effective to a certain extent but not enough. Okay, let's continue, take another swing. Jo An-soo is a bit exhausted, I'm a bit dizzy, I've wasted too much effort on them, but try again and. Jo An-soo put all his strength into rushing forward. You gain the dash trait. Jo An-soo happily said, I did it, fast surfing feature. Jo An-soo is like lightning flashing through layers of monsters. Let's try to connect the features, he said. Jo An-soo jumped up on his tiptoes as high as he could. He has unlocked the jump feature. Dash quickly and jump, escaping the siege will be as easy as turning your hand. Jo An-soo said, as for these shrimps, I can destroy it in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, Jo An-soo poked vertically and horizontally, the monsters fell like straw. He let out a breath. Looked at the battlefield behind him and said, after cleaning up these little monsters, I'm exhausted. The connected speaker fell on the ground and emitted a voice, surprise, I didn't expect you to be a knight. That makes me want you even more. Jo An-soo encouraged the general, if you're so confident then come out, no magician would be stupid enough to confront a warrior directly. He said, here is a gift for you, he smiled cunningly. In front of Jo An-soo was a giant monster, he was a level 2 zombie shield, Karen's undead servant. Leave mom, I still haven't recovered yet, Jo An-soo mentally scolded. But without giving him time to prepare, the monster launched an attack, barely avoiding a move. Another move has arrived. What combination attack? The magician continued to speak, I think your movements are not bad, you will be a useful member of my army of the undead. Jo An-soo silently calculates, this reminds me of a rule in Arcane Soul, when confronting a summoner. You can't fight the summon minions, you have to find that summoner. Jo An-soo held his sword and quickly ran towards the monster. Unexpectedly, he didn't attack it at all, but slid right past it, past you. You searched, where did he go? Jo An-soo discovered a light flashing above his head. Here he is, he shouted. With the fastest speed, Jo On-soo found his opponent. Now I can fly straight at him. This dead mouse, he shouted. Only being good at breaking is good. You know how to use your brain a bit, huh? Jo On-soo recognized the guy. Oh, I remember him, Karen, a level R summoner. He was a leader of the Protection Association and the final boss of this level. Karen, level R, level 3 summoner, Superman. But things won't go according to your plan. He reached out. Countless magical hands emerged from behind his back, controlling Jo On-soo. You will never touch me, he said triumphantly. Die. A purple electric shock shot straight into Jo On-soo's body. I love the echoes of screams. You should know your place, my friend. His hand is filled with a red flame. Jo On-soo realized, that was Karen's ultimate move, black fire. It's over, the fire grows bigger. Damn, Jo On-soo curses, the restraining arms make him unable to move. Karen mocked him, all that is your strength, a bit cute for this final battle. Suddenly Jo On-soo said, you're wrong in thinking like that, I haven't used my full strength yet. If I equip the right characteristics when using skills to confront summoners like you, something interesting will happen, you know, he asked. Jo On-soo has adjusted the equipment and characteristics table. Stop talking and die, Karen shouted. Launched fire at Jo On-soo. He calculated that when the 3-sword magic and physical strength were in perfect harmony, the skill appeared when the user faced danger. The ultimate sword energy can cut through all visible and invisible objects. Jo On-soo swung once, his sword energy was as powerful as a bamboo canopy, cutting Karen's flame in half. He was stunned, it couldn't be. The characteristic of lightning is the name given to the slash just now. The sword slash cut Karen's body in half. To explain further, lightning is the strongest sword technique, only those who have reached the pinnacle of swordsmanship can comprehend it. After a landslide battle, Jo On-soo lay on the ground, almost died. He exclaimed, however he defeated the level 3 Superman and the dungeon boss Karen. Jo On-soo thought, in the game, if you want to hunt it at level 2, you must have a comprehensive team, even at level 3 you can't solo it if you only have normal characteristics and equipment. He stood up and said to himself, I can only win because I have played the game for more than 10,000 hours. Now let's go collect the spoils, Jo On-soo said proudly. At Director Choi's office. Wow, you really managed to clean up that place full of mutants, you're really amazing, Director Choi praised. It's nothing, Jo On-soo looked humble. Oh my, I'm injured there, be careful, you're the one to blame, stop it, I'm sorry I damaged your precious body. The two of them tossed and turned, causing the people around them to watch and spray glue. One of them spoke up, thank you for your work, Superman, I can't believe you defeated all those mutants. Jo On-soo looked humble again, well I was just doing my job. By the way, you said, when I entered the landfill, something completely different from what was requested happened. He pointed at the things on the table and said, do you recognize these things? The man was startled. This is the mana chip used to create ghosts. It was used by Karen of the Protection Association. Jo On-soo said slowly, this incident was not an accident, it was intentional. The man seemed to understand what he meant. The Protection Association, those bastards. The man angrily slammed his hand on the table. It seems he doesn't like those people either, Jo On-soo said. They always charge unreasonable prices, so in the past we had a hard time, the man said angrily. We had conflicts, but I didn't expect them to turn innocent people into mutants. He doesn't know, Jo On-soo thinks suspiciously, which is also true, because the true evil side of the Protection Association only begins to reveal itself after the player completes the landfill mission. He bowed his head and said, sorry superhero, because of us you were put in unnecessary danger. Jo On-soo waved his hand, I just did what I had to do to blow away the bad guys. But in my head I thought, that's right, this guy is really a bad guy. The man pushed 2 suitcases towards Jo On-soo. This is the reward we promised, thank you, but why are there 2 packages? The man explained, it was an arcane gun and an added reward for doing something so dangerous. Oh, thank you. Jo On-soo calmly opened the suitcase, but his heart was filled with joy. Is this holy water? Get the essential elixir for free instead of having to buy it at the temple. Too fragrant, the man warned, but stay safe, Superman. We intended to press charges against the Security Association based on the evidence you provided, but, he said hesitantly. They will try to attack me, Jo On-soo continued. Yes, but we can't ignore something this big, the man said. I'll be okay, Jo On-soo reassures him, I always find a way to survive. On the car moving to the stop, Director Choi said to Jo On-soo, you superhero, maybe it would be a good idea to temporarily hide yourself to avoid the Protection Association, Jo An-soo thought, he said. I don't think that's the best idea, he thought. After completing the landfill mission, the player will receive the banana mission, leading to inevitable conflicts with the Protection Association. This was natural since the player had caused trouble for them, not to mention killing the director of the Karen Association. The important thing is that the Protection Association quest line is divided into many ways, the worst of which is doing nothing and wasting time. In that case, the association president will attack the player with dozens of superheroes. Jo An-soo calculates, on the other hand, the ego with the lowest difficulty is. Jo An-soo asked Director Choi, Director, have you ever heard of a place called Jeonnubong? Of course yes, it is a restricted area located in South Silam, right? Director Choi replied. There's a big poppy farm there so you'll get in trouble when you go there, Jo An-soo told him. That place is owned by the Protection Association. Director Choi was stunned. The Protection Association, what are they doing growing poppies? Jo An-soo revealed more information, not just poppies, they are doing body modification and human trafficking there, they are no different from a flashy criminal organization. Director Choi was angry. What, these lunatics? Jo An-soo said his plan, yes, so I plan to attack Jeonnubong first. Director Choi was so surprised that he suddenly braked. Just saw Jo An-soo dirty phone so he said, I need a lot of things, so here is a list of things to prepare. Director Choi was extremely confused. Claymore mines, amp mines, what is this? Are you planning to start a war or what? He asked Jo An-soo. At the same time, I also added that buying these things will be very expensive. Jo An-soo laughed and teased him, only dreamers have to worry about money. Here, these are the items I got when clearing out the monsters in the landfill. Jo An-soo gave you a big bag. However, Director Choi still did not worry less, that place will handle the costs, but I confirm that you cannot fight against the association alone, he said. The chairman is a level 4 superhero, and the directors are level 3. At this moment Jo An-soo breathed out a pleasant sentence, I never said I would fight alone. Why? Director Choi was surprised. He reassured him, don't worry about anything for now. Just make sure you have all the items on the list ready. 2 days later, Jeonnubong shelter, 2 soldiers were guarding. Suddenly an invisible hand came from behind. Physical impact on a guy's face causes him to collapse. The other guy immediately raised his gun in alert, who was it? However, he was immediately killed by a bullet. The attacker was Jo An-soo. He used the invisibility feature and said proudly, oh my, it's really fun to break in, no matter how many times I do it, it still feels good. That's the end of the perimeter guards. Jo An-soo looked at the pile of people lying on the ground. He thought, it's time to check underground. A punch landed directly on a guy's face. Its owner is Kim Iron Fist. He was on Jo An-soo's phone call. I heard Soldier Kim, thanks to you clearing the way, we were able to easily occupy the underground area. But they are really bad people, he said with a gloomy face. Forcibly modifying people's bodies and trafficking them, they have crossed the line, Jo An-soo said on the phone. Yes, they should be wiped out. Have you checked yet? He asked. Kim Tiat Hu Yen replied, this is truly a serious editing workshop. Jo An-soo told him, when you're done you can take it, it will help you in enhancing your people's strength. Kim seemed quite interested, that sounds good, but are you sure you can play the Protection Association? It will be troublesome if we get involved in the attack, he said shyly. Jo An-soo is still very confident, of course sure, have you ever seen me do anything without reason? Hang up the phone. Jo An-soo leisurely walks in. The Jeonnubong shelter is their main source of income, yet the security is quite lax. Looking at the poppy garden, Jo An-soo smiled cunningly, so. It is the best place to start the downfall of the Cock Association. Early the next morning, at a skyscraper. The employee hastily informed the boss, the president, the urgent news, etc. Jeonnubong, the Jeonnubong shelter has been attacked. The chairman asked again, what do you mean? The employee said out of breath, oh well, the guy who killed Director Karen also took over the Jeonnubong shelter. The angry chairman slammed the table down, causing the employee to panic. How dare he attack us so brazenly, Mr. Park Dae-yeop, president of the Protection Association, level 4 Superman asked angrily. The employee saw that his boss was mad, tremblingly brought a phone and said, in addition, he also sent this. On my phone was a picture of a fat Jo An-soo next to a burned poppy garden. Looking at his ridiculous look made the president's blood boil even more. That bastard burned our farm. He couldn't believe his eyes. he was so angry that he crushed the phone. Angrily said, "What about the Golden Warrior? I will kill him and break him into pieces." At the Ganyu Bong shelter, after being destroyed by Joansu, only a desolate land remained. Appeared an army of protection associations. The bald man angrily said he really burned down the poppy farm. The crowd said after that golden soldier, he is definitely crazy. The bald guy continued, "All we need to do is catch the crazy guy. Please break in quickly and resolve the situation. Let's show the president the power of the Foreign Affairs Circle." The juniors heard it clearly in unison. The soldiers began to move. The bald guy told his juniors that he might watch us from inside the building to be careful. The junior answered clearly, "We'll blow him up as soon as we find out." Suddenly a junior discovered something strange and shouted, "Wait, there's a gun at that window." After hearing that, the bald guy immediately applauded and shot into the doorway. "Good job." He proudly said that my prediction was correct. The juniors burst out laughing, "Ha, that's really cool, Captain." But before they could celebrate for long, they had to say something in panic. A boom. "Damn, it's a claymore mine." The junior was confused and scared. "What should I do, Captain?" From afar, there was a missile approaching. Their faces turned pale, their veins were blue, they were scared to death, and boom. Jo-Ansu, who was watching through the control screen, laughed gleefully. It's good to stay up all night planning bombs and mines. Thanks to their unique characteristics, they cannot be detected in advance. Through the screen, only the pitiful screams of the guards running away could be heard. There were also mines here. Hearing those sounds, Jo-Ansu just laughed evilly. "I'm not crazy to come out and fight hundreds of you guys. I will stay down in this underground control room and kill you all." Then only an explosion was heard. And pitiful cries for help from the skinheads. In another area, the president of the Security Association and his juniors appeared. Not as they appeared, it seemed he was well prepared. He also somewhat respects Kim, who dares to directly provoke us. A guy under his command said, "Give it to me." I finished analyzing his tactics. The one who spoke was a level 3R ranked superhuman cyborg and also the vice president of the Protection Association. The chairman heard and responded, "Bring him back here alive. I have to kill him as painfully as possible." The Protection Association people started using grenades to check the traps. However, suddenly a grenade appeared from the sky. "He has level 3 strength and can easily dodge and counterattack," the junior replied. Then it was shot from the right side of the rooftop. That guy managed to hit Jo-Ansu's device. The vice president's name spoke perfectly. "We have come close to the shelter, show him hell." Then showed a devilish smile that he was probably experiencing. Jo-Ansu from the control room witnessed the cyborg differently. "They're really inhumane, huh?" The alarm bell rang, awakening the main's defenses. "They came faster than I thought. The new Star Killer mission truly lives up to its evil name." The sound of gunfire rang out. The door was broken. From the door appeared 2 female monsters. "Why are they hiding underground like rats? Come play with us." That's Ebony, Viper, level 3 superhero, director of Protection Association. The 2 girls were surprised. "Wait a minute, he knew we were coming." Jo-Ansu uses stealth skills and plays dead to hide in the room. The Protection Association's plan was to cause chaos at the front to pretend a war of attrition, while the assassin directors took action in the background. "Of course I know all your tactics. Let's eat." Main threw out a stun grenade, surprising the 2 girls. "Is a trap. The main game flashes really fast. I don't have time to play with you guys, bye." The 2 women angrily yelled at "You son of a bitch, I'll tear you apart." Jo-Ansu runs through the stairs and the assassins will quickly catch up. Must move quickly. Just as I was thinking, the 2 girls attacked. Damn, was it time? Must defend first. Main activates mana shield and protection. Then laugh as much as you want. I blocked them all, hee hee. She went crazy and blocked our bullets. Do you really think so? The bullet shattered the armor. Made Jo-Ansu collapse. The purple-haired girl sneered, "Isn't that a delicious bullet impregnated with exploding magic? More desserts." Jo-Ansu was shot. Then the blue-haired girl spoke up, "This is nothing compared to the pain I'm about to make you feel." Jo-Ansu just said nonsense. "You guys are just bad people wearing tight clothes. You 2 are angry, this will correct your attitude." Main was blown several meters away by a blow from the blue-haired woman, collapsing and panting. Seeing that, the blue-haired girl is so happy, "Isn't it? Ha ha, it is a strong poison that affects the arteries. It is very difficult to endure." The purple-haired girl said, "Take him to the president." Only to see Jo-Ansu start to smile evilly. and said welcome to the destination. It turned out it was all Jo On-soo acting. She didn't understand what happened. Jo On-soo continues, do you hear that ticking sound? Doesn't it remind you of anything? She's also confused. What the hell are you talking about? Jo On-soo's evil face uttered words that sounded like, a giant time bomb, huh? Main activate flash. Okay, stay there and rot away. The two women were surprised by this action. Both Ebony and Viper are as strong as Karen. In a direct fight, I'm not sure of winning. I gave up all my characteristics to put on a show, luring them to the clock while catching them off guard. Because in the watch, I placed a bunch of white phosphorus firepower that cost me more than billions of silver, ha ha. Jo On-soo smiles brightly, have a good night, darlings. The two girls now realized that this was another trap, son of a bitch. Boom, the two girls were blown to pieces. Jo On-soo sat in a corner and breathed a sigh of relief. Looks like I've successfully eliminated those enemies, but there are many others coming. I have to quickly restore my vitality. Especially when I don't know when that robot will arrive. As soon as he finished speaking, the next enemy appeared. Just reminded you. The two sides met at the end of the battle just now. The robot is angry at you. Defeated Ebony and Viper. Jo On-soo smiled and winked, and you almost looked like him. Angry robot, don't expect an easy death. I will definitely edit until you beg for death. Jo On-soo puffs so cruelly, next time, please act more humanely. It was a waste of words for the robot to continue speaking. I will finish you off here. Jo On-soo said, but you know, I'm so glad you guys were able to come here. It was beyond my imagination. When you reinforced your body with machines, it was exactly what I wanted. Why is the villain surprised? Thank you, you idiots, just let me gain experience. A blast of energy made the robot army cry out in pain. What is this? Jo On-soo continues to use explosive mines worth 1 billion won to deal with machines. Explosive mines and bullet guns are effective companions. Almost everyone was defeated, only the vice president was still there. Jo On-soo was also surprised. Bow to the soul, how much money did you spend on your body? Even that mine was ineffective. That guy starts attacking Jo On-soo and I'll tear you apart right here. Seeing Jo On-soo avoiding him, he said, are you planning on avoiding forever? Jo On-soo feels that his strength is too great. He must overwhelm his speed to have an advantage. But it's like a mosquito biting me and my eyes go out and the rest of your body is made of metal. What a cheat. That guy is proud that a waste sword like this can't do anything to me. It's not even enough to scratch my itch, you bastard. Jo On-soo was seriously injured. His body was covered with reinforced magic power. The sword was useless. The vice president growled. What could he expect from his weak body? Jo On-soo was kicked under him and growled, you dirty robot bastard. Jo On-soo doesn't understand how a machine body like his can move so quickly. The vice president said loudly that I will cut off your hand first so that you will know what pain is. Jo On-soo took out his pistol and aimed at him and smiled. That guy wondered what that pistol was all about. Jo On-soo said, looking at your disgusting body, I got an idea. That guy is still so proud. You still don't realize that regular bullets are useless to me. Jo On-soo smiled with steady eyes, but this is not an ordinary bullet. Black fire. The bullet suddenly shot out, surprising the vice president. Jo On-soo explains that your mechanical body is powered by magic and the black fire burns all the magic. In other words, when the black fire clings to your body, there is no way to extinguish it. That's why it's a weakness to say you modify and reinforce your body with machines. Jo On-soo's smile gradually becomes more strange. Jo On-soo killed the vice president with one strike. Now all that's left is the final step. It's time to abolish the Protection Association. Boom, without those powerful supervisors, you guys would die quickly with me. His accomplices ran away screaming in fear and had no way to fight him. Jo On-soo boasts that his voice is so smooth. But the happiness didn't last long for my skin and eardrums. What a battle cry, he finally joined the battle. From the sea of blood the president's name appeared, eyes as red as a tiger. That's right, it's him. That guy screams, wait there, bastard. Suddenly he appeared in front of Jo On-soo. Jo On-soo was surprised what he just jumped from the ground to the roof of a 5-story building. The chairman was angry. I had never had to endure such humiliation. I'll be happy to punish you. For the crime of insulting the Protection Association. He used all his strength to attack, sending Jo On-soo flying away in pain. If I don't change my characteristics to defense, I will be defeated, but fighting in a defensive position cannot defeat him. Jo On-soo started to counterattack but didn't mean to tease him. You used an interesting skill. Jo On-soo keeps shooting. How about this? Still can't affect him, I already like you. Jo-on-soo saw him easily block the lightning and black fire. Next, he rushed quickly and attacked Jo-on-soo. Made Jo-on-soo knock him down so hard. The name of the chairman is just that, is that all? Jo-on-soo thought to himself. As expected, this was impossible from the beginning. Park Dae-yob is a born SR level character. On the other hand, I'm just the starting character, and he overwhelms my level, the distance is crazy. Seeing Jo-on-soo stand up, he challenged this to be your last struggle. Jo-on-soo wakes up, do you know how to handle your juniors? What did he ask? Jo-on-soo replied, I already dealt with Ebony and Viper with white phosphorus explosives and the cyborg with explosives. What do you think I have prepared for you? Are you prepared to deal with me with those things, you idiot? Jo-on-soo begins to change. The only way for level 2 to win against level 4 is Jo-on-soo turning into a giant. Activating his mutant body is the only way to defeat the president. The chairman rolled his eyes. People turn into giants. Jo-on-soo growled. I will lose my mind at any moment. But I have prepared something for this situation. Berserk glasses, granting rage properties to the wearer for a limited period of time. This item has the properties I need most right now. Jo-on-soo crushed the glasses. Rage trait acquired trait, clear your mind of all the sessions, focus only on the battle, unleash your power beyond limits. Jo-on-soo is so happy, finally able to fight comfortably, only bloodshed, death, and fighting filled my mind. Jo-on-soo Dun-soo scream, come here. The chairman blocked Jo-on-soo's palm. Immediately got angry and told Jo-on-soo, I don't know what you just used, but one thing is for sure, things are getting more interesting. Please allow me to try. Let's have fun. Jo-on-soo also replied that this is exactly what I want. The two sides fought fiercely and constantly made provocations to the opponent, but it seemed like Jo-on-soo was gaining the upper hand. While fighting, Jo-on-soo received the trait of superhuman strength and iron armor. Jo-on-soo laughed loudly and was excited. I could do this all day. The villain wiped the blood from his mouth and said, okay, I admit it, I haven't had a fight like that in a long time. But I have finished analyzing you. His eyes gradually reddened with a deadly look. This is my victory. Punching and kicking are useless. You have no fighting background at all. Jo-on-soo angrily shouted, you bastard. The chairman challenged and looked at you like he was fighting. A clumsy punch from someone who doesn't know how to fight. After a punch from chairman, Jo-on-soo Dun-soo collapsed. Main also feels the effects of the weakening rage trait. There was no other way but to put everything into this attack. Jo-on-soo abandoned his close combat trait. Jo-on-soo's actions made the chairman angry. What the hell are you planning again? I will end you here. Jo-on-soo grabbed the chairman's hand with one hand. Okay, I admit you're better at close combat. But you see, I'm not a fighter, I'm a swordsman, you bastard. Jo-on-soo's arm gradually transformed. The pitiful cry of the growling chairman. You can use lightning, just with your hands it's okay. Jo-on-soo pulls out his blade. This is a good fight. The chairman used his last strength to curse Jo-on-soo, you monster. He also died. Jo-on-soo used all his strength to change his body. Jo-on-soo has leveled up to level 3 Superman. Thank God, luckily I leveled up at the right time. What a lucky day. As soon as he finished speaking, Jo-on-soo collapsed from fatigue. A few days later, Jo-on-soo woke up in a mana bath. Jo-on-soo was still wondering how to get home when Director Choi appeared. He finally woke up. What happened, Director Choi? I think you really died there. You were lying on the ground with some people in the protection group. Ah, so you brought me home, I understand. The director cried. I noticed he was still breathing, so I put him in the mana spring. He was unconscious for a week. After the director's words, Jo-on-soo discovered that his body had recovered quite a bit. Director Choi said excitedly, you are truly amazing. Single-handedly destroy the heretical society. We have received many calls from the office about this. Jo-on-soo Dun-soo enjoys it, I know. I'm special. Director Choi praised him wholeheartedly. Not only is he special, but it's also amazing. Jo-on-soo smiled shyly but was crazy happy. Director Choi continued, I collected the spoils from the battle. Please take a look and let me know if you need anything else. Jo-on-soo replied, I have to recover first, and because now I have been promoted to level 3, I have a place to go, hee hee. A week later. Jo-on-soo goes to measure mana again. Main satisfied with my current achievements, I will receive official certification and receive all kinds of wonderful benefits. The girl standing behind saw that and immediately congratulated him on how wonderful he is, Superman. I have never seen anyone grow as fast as you. You will establish your own country in the future, right? Main laughed. No, I wouldn't go that far. Can I get my certification? The older sister answered yes, of course, please follow me. This is my official certificate, congratulations, thank you, I'm really jealous of you ha ha ha. Why is Jo An-soo surprised? So Rin hides her face and feels self-conscious for many reasons. I wish I could be strong like you. After hearing that, Jo An-soo was surprised. It's really strange for Baek So Rin to show such emotions. It's truly unimaginable. Jo An-soo suddenly realized, wait, I have nothing to do now, so I can. Jo An-soo asked her if she wanted to be a superhero. She replied, of course, who wouldn't want to? Jo An-soo immediately said, so, why don't you become my student, huh? The female lead shook hands and agreed to Jo An-soo's proposal. Jo An-soo happily made that wise decision. It's good that she's worried, but, I have to tell you that I failed to awaken even after taking specialized classes. It's not an easy task, even if it's you. Jo An-soo encouraged, don't worry about anything, trust me. According to the main's understanding of the game, So Rin is a heavenly killing star, a characteristic that represents the rebirth of the murderous aura that dyes the whole world with blood. This is the rank 1 bug trait of the berserker Baek Sorin. There's a high risk that her spirit could fray, turning her into a psychopath or a crazed corpse obsessed with combat. Jo An-soo told her she would need to prepare herself. So Rin awkwardly asked me if I needed a lot of money. At that moment, a staff member called Jo An-soo to apologize. Kim, someone invited you to a meeting, can we go to the area on the 5th floor? Jo An-soo walked out carrying the thought of a superhero tower divided into floors based on levels. Because I was called to the 5th floor, that means a level 5 superhero called me up. As soon as I got out of the elevator door, I heard the teacher's voice. Turns out it's Seo Gu-jin. He was so happy to see Jo An-soo, so happy to see him here. Jo An-soo smiled foolishly, me too. Jo An-soo thought to himself that even considering his inner talent and rich family, isn't level 5 a bit too fast? Pouting, I like it best when I have a friend from a rich family. Gu-jin pulled out an item containing the mana concentration property, makes Dun-soo excited. Gu-jin spoke up, soldier teacher, actually you have another reason why I want to meet you. Can I ask you a favor? Main asked again, why is it suddenly so serious? They are also infected with the priest's will. Gu-jin replied, yes, I have 4 friends who have suffered since they were children. Jo An-soo suddenly realized, wait, does he mean those characters? If so, then it's the perfect opportunity for me to make things easier. Okay, I can't miss those in need. Both sides were happy. Gu-jin thanked him profusely. A few days later, thanks to Gu-jin. As expected, I was right, they are supporting characters for the Holy Night, Seo Woo-jin. All of them are children of high-class families, people who are basically kept as hostages by the priesthood. Jo An-soo spoke up, so I could clarify something. Everyone has been baptized into involuntary compulsion, right? My treatment is really very painful, however, you will be awakened, just like Woo-jin here. If you can endure it, can you do it? All 4 of us were able to say it in unison, it's all thanks to you. A week later, Jo An-soo helped all 4 of them awaken. They were happy. Whoa! We have truly awakened. Thank you very much, sir. See, as our benefactor, Jo An-soo complimented them. Everyone endured very well, well done. The entire family of 4 bowed their heads to thank Main. Thank you very much. The gold present before his eyes, Jo An-soo couldn't help but feel happy. Oh, you guys really don't need it. It's all thanks to your children's internal talent, but inside his heart is even more perverted. I benefit from a temple that only targets rich families. All the equipment at hand is displayed with extremely high speed and armored properties, helmet detection characteristics, angry axe trait. We chose a gift for him together, hope you like them. Jo An-soo was happy but still polite. I sincerely thank you for these gifts. In my heart, I'm so happy that I'm so lucky. Cut to scene where Jo An-soo is talking to the parents of one of the 4 people. You said you wanted to talk privately for a bit. Yes, that's right, I have a favor to ask you, Galaxy Store representative. I want to go into the underground gold mine located under the Hanam branch of the Galaxy Store. Hearing that, he calmly exclaimed, gold mine, there is no such thing under our shopping store. Jo An-soo continued, I am talking about the one located between the wall of areas A1 and A2 in the 8th floor of the basement below the parking lot. Are you sure there isn't one? He worriedly replied, I don't know, how do you know about it? But, even if you ask, I can't do it. Jo An-soo continued, I promise, I won't say a word about this. Just one day, that's all I ask of you, I will keep the secret you want to keep. Scene: Jo An-soo borrowed the vault and brought Corinth with him. The two of them were digging behind the wall. Ko So Rin was surprised. I really couldn't believe there was a space hidden behind the wall. Jo An-soo happily replied, have you seen it? I told you this is where you will awaken. You don't know how hard I had to work to get here. Corinne looked around for a while then struggled, but, are we really going to practice in a secluded place like this? That's right, you will practice here. You have to put them in extreme situations, fighting for their lives, and this is, a dungeon unknown to the world, the place where Baek Soren will awaken. Suddenly a zombie jumped out from nowhere, making Ko So Rin scared. Kai. Under the zombie's attack, her glasses were broken. Suddenly a sword appeared next to her. Turns out it was Jo An-soo who gave it. Jo An-soo said it's practice time, kill the zombie yourself. Soren was very surprised and said, what do you mean? Jo An-soo continued, fight for your life, that's what I mean. So Rin was so scared. What nonsense are you talking about? In front of the monster's ugly face, its growling sound was getting closer and closer. So Rin brandished a sword and shouted, away, you monster. Oh my god, just one slash made Jo An-soo so scared that he said something like that. How could an innocent slasher have so much power? Jo An-soo was surprised and admired Baek So Rin. She could have talent beyond his imagination.